So, to begin this session, can you introduce yourself to the people on Twitch and on YouTube about you?
Okay, hello. I am Arya. I started playing like recently, but when I played with my brother, he called me trash, he called me names. He called me a slur once, average league player stuff. And then I made a deep disdain from him and I want to beat him in the game.
Okay. I love that. That's absolutely perfect timeline, and I'm here to help all the way. So,
Thank you.
all
We're
right,
gonna show him I'm better.
there you go. Oh, sorry. What rank is he right now?
He's he's gold. He's been playing
God,
since beta.
he's since beta.
Yeah,
What?
like at the very beginning, like when I was like a little little girl, he was playing. I was like, damn.
And he's just go. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Anyways,
No,
so
but he's like level 7 every bot character. Like every ADC and support, he has level 7, and I'm like,
holy
damn.
based.
I'm like, okay,
All right. Well, don't worry. We're gonna get you there. Probably. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen your gameplay, right? So I have yet to
yeah.
see how your potential and stuff like that. But I'm pretty positive that we're gonna at least get you the gold. And if depending on how it looks like, maybe flat, maybe.
Y- Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Let me share my screen with you. Whoops. That should be fine.
Oh, there's a really good reason for my name. I actually, it's
Oh,
oh
this one, your OP.GG.
yeah, yeah. This is the the reason for my name is because Vex, when she wins, she says whatever.
Oh yeah, it says whatever. Yeah.
I had to be the character if I want to start winning games.
That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I respect that. Like one tricks. I'm a bit of a dirty one trick myself. Not necessarily like entirely. Like, how do I say this? Like I play one champ at a time. There was a point in time where I played like, um, 40 plus Nidalee games in a row. Um, so that was fun.
Yeah.
But I play all the champions. But anyway, less about me, more about you. So, is the game we're gonna review this one, the latest one?
It's actually the game before that.
This one, the
Yeah. Is it the
you're
one with the Warwicks? Because if it's the one with the Warwicks and JG, then it's that one.
oh, it's this one, yeah. Warwick jungle, you're up against
No,
Yasuo.
our Warwick jungle. Because
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I hate
Okay.
him. He texts me. He texts me so hard. He goes he goes to my lane and then he takes my minions and leaves.
They really do that. They really do. As a jungler main myself, sometimes we gotta get some agency. We can't let our teammates just.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't do that anymore, but I understand. Like, when I was like low elo, um, I, I just can't think that my teammates can actually carry, so I just take everything.
Oh,
um,
you gotta think selfishly.
yeah, there was a there was a phase, but
Yeah.
nowadays team player. All right, before we get into dive deep into your OP.GG, because I'm kind of excited about this, just looking at the stats, and, enemy Yasuo and all that stuff. A lot of exciting things here. Um, I'm curious. Why did you sign up to for a coaching session? Besides the whole
Actually,
anime backstory, like, is there anything else?
it's actually like I have there's barely ever Vex stuff. Like it's so dry. Like, okay, you don't have to update Vex. You know how to give her skin. But can someone like give me some Vex content out there? Cause like I'm like studying everything. Like I'm a better Vex support because someone like listed out this word per word, like Google Docs on a Vex support season 14. And
Hmm.
like I learn better if it's like up to date and stuff. Because if it's not, like, it's so dry. I have to think for myself. No, actually, no, that's not true. But
Well, for some people, that's the fun of it when they get to think and challenge themselves. Um,
oh yeah, yeah, true, true.
but
Challenge
yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
Do you feel challenged right now?
I feel heavily challenged. Uh, oh my god.
Okay. No.
Just pray. Uh, Good thing I didn't record any earlier games because my go-to is like if I solo queue, I sing Jesus songs. Like
What does that mean?
because like I'm tilting, right? I wanna kill everybody here. I hate my JJ. I hate my top laner, my bot laner. Everybody's losing their lane. I'm losing my lane. I'm losing my mind. And like I just sing water of life or like in the middle of the game. And my duo gets like so pissed and like, why
No.
are you singing Water of My Life? And I was like, but because
Uh,
I'm Zed, bro. So sorry. I have a
no.
deep hate for Zed.
Yeah, I could tell. It shows. And just for everyone's clarification, whoever was watching this, when he means kill everyone, she means in game. That's very important clarification.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in game, kill everyone in game, right?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously in game.
Obviously, right?
I
Like,
don't trash talk actually. I
right.
only trash talk when like they're like, "What is our mid laner doing?" And I was like, "Shut up, or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't type anything out because like what if someone's having a bad game? Like I've learned that from Valorant. It's a mental game.
That's true. That's right. That's part of the game. All right. Well, okay. Hopefully I'll be able to provide you with some nasty Vex content. I don't think I've ever coached a Vex player. I think I coached someone. Well, I coached Paro if you know her. Um,
No, I don't think so.
okay, but like yeah, like she plays Vex, but I don't say because like you described yourself, I believe as like a Vex OTP, which is way different than I can play Vex. I mean, a lot of people can play Vex, but there's not a whole lot of people who one trick her. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
religiously I memorize every voice line.
Oh god. Okay, can you give us a sample voice line for the?
Um, well, first of all, she says whatever, and then she's like, it's in the beginning. There's a voice line where she says, and then she said, "This is what are you doing in my room? This is," and then she says, "This is my house, young Missy." Oh wait, Shadow, I'll tell you later.
That's good. All right, there you go.
I don't know why I'm going insane. I just want a legendary skin. I hear every voice line. It haunts me when I sleep.
Hey, you'll never know. One day they'll giga buff Vex, and then she gets a skin, then
And she gets
everything's
banned.
she
Like
gets
I don't have
banned,
to
and you never get to
worry.
play the game. But at least you get a skin.
At least I get a skin.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my quick play era now.
Yeah, we take those. Okay.
I
No, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I have both her skins.
That's fair. What's your favorite?
Um, I like to switch between the two because sometimes I get sick of looking at the same thing on the screen over and
Fair.
over again.
Okay. But I really like the Empyrean one though. It's sick.
Oh yeah,
Because for
it
the longest
changes.
time, I like classic more than the. I don't even remember the other name of the skin.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, whatever the release skin.
The
But
Dawnbringer.
yeah, Dawnbringer, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, I like the Imperial. Anyway, so in our session, do you have a specific like aspect that you want to be tackled, or
Hmm. I actually do no damage.
well, I could see that. That's a problem. Um,
Yeah, as someone that's supposed to AP carry, I do no damage.
all right, we can
Okay.
fix that. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Um. Uh. I kind of suck at CSing.
Like, Oh no. Okay.
You didn't have to look at them. Okay.
Oh no, guys. All right. No, it's fine. Well,
I
you gotta start
I
somewhere. That's you
I
know,
also miss my R, but I don't miss my other skill shots.
like your W.
Like my E and W and Q and stuff.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
miss those. I'm
you hit.
Kobe when it comes to those.
Yeah, you hit 75% of your kit, which is that's a good number. A good percentage.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't talk about my R.
Yeah. We don't talk about
Oh
that.
god,
The
please,
thing is,
please.
they see your misses, but they don't know your story. That's why they can't judge you.
Oh, true.
See, yeah, all
You gotta
right.
go down if you want to go up.
Yeah, 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 exactly. I'm on your side.
Uh,
So,
let's
um,
go.
okay. So I noticed that your win rate. You've played a lot of games. I'm impressed. You've played a lot of games. Um, but it seems
Hmm.
like there is quite a struggle. So could you tell us a little bit about the struggles that you have in your journey?
Okay, there are two answers for that.
Okay.
One is the toxic answer, and my teammates are suck.
Okay.
The second one is the better answer. I'm just not that good of a player. I'm not good mechanically because I am still new to the game. Also, my
New.
JJ doesn't gag. Like I say to my duo every time, JJ, if you don't gag me, I'm reporting you. But yeah, we digress from that. But I am still kind of new because
Hmm.
like my brother was like, "Oh, Arya, can you like uh level up your account so I can use your account as a Smurf?" Because I use his account as a Smurf on Valorant.
Right.
but but I'm playing now, so
Wait, so when did you start playing League?
December.
Wait, like your first ever game is on
My
December?
first. It was in 2023. Like
Oh, okay.
I paid, I paid for an Ari skin before I even played Ari, because I just like the KDA skin. But then I stopped, and I played on December.
I see. Okay, so you played on December. Were you active or did you only recently get active like playing?
I was active. I was really active in December all the way now. But I
Hmm.
only started Vex maining this year.
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't show that you have like any ranked history here, so
Oh yeah, cause this is my first rank.
I see. So, wait, but you said I think you typed somewhere on Discord that you're like silver or something, no? Didn't you
Oh,
type that?
I was.
Oh, you were. Oh, okay, Oh yeah, you. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
all right, all right. A little bit of investigation. Okay, well,
Okay, to be fair, it placed me in gold, and I didn't think I deserved gold. And then it was just a downward spiral from there. And I was like at a point where I'm like, just put me in iron so I can climb up.
that's interesting though, cause like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's only surprising for me, but I've been coaching for a while. I think this is the first time I've handled someone that just started like playing ranked and already like got coaching. Cause normally, I would
Oh
say,
no! It's because I don't want my fundamentals to be bad. Because
oh
like that's
my
a
god.
mistake I made in Valorant. Like my fundamentals were so shit.
Okay, that's. I just want you to know that's very based, and a lot of people in my chat will probably understand how much that means to me because that's one of the things I'm advocating. Sorry, a little bit of a sidetrack if you don't mind.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead.
uh, Oftentimes one of my talking points on stream is that um, I don't necessarily say that I'm right in a lot of these things. It's just that um, I'm a victim of this whole sort of like YouTube spiral thing where I watch like a video or two and then I think that what they're saying on the YouTube video is right,
Yeah.
but then the moment I started learning the game for myself and I got better, I realized a lot of the things I learned were garbage. And
Yeah, that's so.
yeah, and if anything, it only held me back for a couple of years. Then if I just learned the game on my own, I probably could have. gotten here faster. Basically, that's what I was doing.
Mhm.
So one of my, I would say, I wouldn't say goals, but like one of the things I wanted to achieve when it comes to coaching is that I want people to not steer in that direction. So exactly what you're talking about, and actually learn the game the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because that's the mistake I made in Valorant. Like I was
Mm,
like silver for like 2 years until like I broke free and I like skipped the whole rank. Like
damn.
I skipped the whole rank just like practicing and stuff like that.
Wow. All right. Well, um, here we go. Okay. So, lastly, before there's so much like preface, but before everything else, is there anything else you want to share before that's relevant in the coaching session that's might be important?
Uh, Um, in the coaching, you're gonna hear that I have a duo.
Oh, I'm gonna have it muted. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, okay, that's
Yeah.
good then.
Um.
That's
uh,
it.
yeah. Okay. Your duo is your friend or something?
Yeah, they're a support main.
Okay. That's I'm assuming
They
it's
stole my
Seraphine.
kill one. Yeah, they stole my
Okay.
kill one at a time.
Right.
I don't know why supports do that, but
Well.
whatever.
Okay. They secure the kill. They don't necessarily steal it.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
I could have gotten a kill. I have a
Yeah, I
pretty
know.
long
I'm
range.
just memeing you.
Okay, okay. That's it.
um.
That's all I wanted to say. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's begin. So normally the way I do these sessions, I go over the OP.GG first because I believe, and I don't think I viewed your video a bit in the beginning. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you started at Champ Select. You started like when the game started, right?
Uh, yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
Cause
I
like
because I saw you started recording and then I heard like welcome to Summoner's Rift, so you're already in game, right?
yeah, cause cause I don't. Cause some people like pick like based on what the enemy picks, right? I
Yeah.
I pick one character, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying because normally I talk about Champ Select, but since it's not part of the VOD. Um, we'll just talk it here in the op.gg because
Uh huh.
one of the first things I want to teach you is that the game doesn't start when when you load into Summer's Rift. The game actually starts when you load into Champ Select. Um,
Mm,
so what that means is that I want you to refine everything that you can from the get go. That means like summoner spells, whether applicable, um, spells. I mean runes rather, um, and obviously looking at each pick as soon as they get picked, and sort of get like a picture of like what kind of game you're trying to get into, because that will help you. Because we're in the same boat. Okay, I'm not a very mechanical player as well. I'm getting old. Okay, I'm boomering. So a lot of these intense moments that happens in the game are and the reflexes that demands it. Usually, I'm very bad at it. But we have an advantage, us non-mechanical players, is that we can pre-plan and anticipate, and sort of like make like a flow chart of whatever supposed to happen before it actually happens. So we don't have to rely on our like dexterity and our you know what I mean.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I want you to do. I'll explain a bit more about that when we actually get to your VOD, but um, just keep that in mind that the first thing I want you to know is that the game starts in Champ Select and not like when you load into the Rift.
Uh huh.
Okay, everything clear so far?
Yep, I get it.
All right. So now let's discuss your runes. I believe these are generic runes.
Yeah, they're kind of generic.
I do want to say that you might want to look up other pages though. I don't think I've seen a lot of Vex players, they run different setups. Obviously this is like the most common setup because it helps with the traditional Vex play pattern of you burst the enemy target and stuff like that. But in some cases, you you can play it differently. I've seen people run Comet on Vex for like poke lanes and very bully type lanes, where you don't get to reliably proc your electrocute, but you do get to proc your Comet. So something to worth note.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Vex expert. I just do a lot of research. So I don't know exactly when you take those, but you can. I'm just telling you it exists. The tech exists. Um, Some people even do phase rush. I believe they do that against like heavy melee comps or stuff where you don't necessarily have to dive in and you're playing more like a control mage, if that makes sense, and then you just use your ult to clean up rather to engage.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, get to learn all the setups. If you want to be a full-fledged Vex OTP, you have to know the tech, because for me, especially because you're new to the game, you get to learn a lot of things very fast. Like learning curve wise, right? You get to learn a whole lot of things and then you slow down at some point. Um, so get to absorb everything you can and then learn all the matchups, all the techs, all the itemization. I can help you a little bit later on the itemization depending on how this game turns out. But there, even if it doesn't go that way, I will also discuss um, some itemization stuff that I researched. I think about a month or so about Vex. So ayun, just make sure to to always have that, because that's your advantage, right? A lot of these players
Uh-huh.
that you'll face in ranked, they're generalists, right? They're probably like, oh, what's a strong mid laner that's being played by a faker, and then they just pick it whatever, right? Like, and they probably it probably works for them. Either they're playing different champions, they're having a lot of fun, they win games, but for you, your angle is that okay, I can't be, like what you said, right? I'm not gonna base my picks around whatever my team is playing. If we're playing like an engage comp or like a protect comp, I don't care. I'm locking in Vex. Okay, I don't care what my matchup is. I'm locking in Vex. And if that's your mindset, you need to know how to, um, at the very least, because uh, there will be matchups with Vex that are incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
But you need to learn how to at least try and win those lanes. If not, make it playable for yourself. Because the thing is, you're not on a, let's be honest, you're not at a skill level where the matchups uh entirely shape your early game, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
like for example, like this Yasuo here probably doesn't know the Vex matchup. It's probably the first Vex player you've like he's seen. So, there's a good chance he has no idea what your abilities do and stuff like that. But the higher you go, the more you get, punished, and the more they know certain dynamics about the matchup. So, um, that's when it starts to apply, like theory wise. But it doesn't mean you can't start here.
Uh-huh.
What I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, these are standard runes, so nothing much to talk about here. We can now proceed to your VOD. Any questions so far with all the concepts I'm explaining?
No, no. I I'm actually taking notes.
All right, very good. Good student. All right, so let's get to your VOD real quick. Um, Wapa, sec. All right. All right. So let's see how this looks like.
Hmm.
It looks okay. All right. Let's skip over. All right. Mind you, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know this. I'm not one of those like, oh, I've watched this VOD like way before you did, or way before the session started, and so I'm gonna be an ass and be hindsight Andy and tell you the stuff I need to do. This is my first time watching this, just in case it's not clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember early in my coaching days, some people actually accused me of that. They're like, "No, you already watched this. Like, you didn't know that. You just watched the VOD." I'm like, "No, I mean, uh,
Okay. In midnight we trust.
yeah." All right, so already okay. Ooh, lots of juice. I want you to one thing I want everyone to know when it comes to my coaching sessions. This is not necessarily a flex. I'm just being transparent. Um, I don't like it when people come back to get another session. I generally don't believe in the idea that, because in my head, if I'm going to get a coach, if I was in your spot and I'm going to get a coach, I should be able to get the tools that I need from that session. Like, I'm
Uh-huh.
only gonna get another session if, like, I don't know, I've reached a new barrier that wasn't discussed, or I feel like I didn't learn anything from the first one. And so normally I fix that by, you know, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna probably overload you with a lot of information.
Mm.
Um, and because you're at the skill level where mistakes happen pretty much every second, we're we're probably gonna talk about a lot. So
Yeah, yeah.
don't worry if you're overwhelmed at the moment. I know you're taking down notes. But because it's gonna be up on YouTube as well, feel free to review it and digest it at your own pace. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first thing I wanna discuss, okay, when we load into game, is that I realized this detail right here. You can see the drawings on the screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, you can, right? Can.
Can.
Okay. So um, the one thing I want to point out here is that you took an ability right away. And I'm not sure how fast you took that, but based on the game timer, you basically took it instantly. Now, that's not to say that it's a bad thing to do. I just think, like, I'm not saying like, oh, taking E at level 1 is really bad. No. I think that's perfectly fine. However, it's a bad habit to level up your ability when the game hasn't started yet. I'll give you a different scenario. Let's say, for example, you didn't level up your ability, you walk out of base, and then, I don't know, maybe you're either, uh, guarding your jungler's buff or something at level 1, or maybe you're standing in the middle of the lane and you don't even realize it. I don't know, whatever. You're doing something else where you're not safe, necessarily safe. Well, what happens if you get jumped on, and then you have E? Well, what if they flash over your E? Like, cause it has like a little wind up animation, right? Doesn't like insta hit. You can miss your E. Like, there's a lot of ways to mess up your E. So there's a chance you don't even get to fear them, and you're probably either gonna blow your flash or you're just gonna straight up die. So
Uh-huh.
that's a pretty terrible situation that we want to avoid as much as possible. So I recommend, general rule of thumb, with any champion, or in this case, this is your only champion.
My
Um,
only champion.
yeah, don't skill up an ability until like you're in the lane and trying to CS. Or honestly, I would even stretch to the point that don't skill up an ability unless you have to use it already. Like, let's say for example you want to skill up E. Okay, if you're not going to cast E yet for harass or for poke, don't skill it up yet, just to be safe. You never know. You never know what variables change in your games, and in lower rated games, a lot of unpredictable things happen. For example, I have coached an Iron player before, and I've seen people, literally four people, walk up in mid, and they literally got first blood in mid for no apparent reason. Of course, there's some downside to that. A lot of the side laners got some, free reign and stuff like that. But it could be pretty annoying if you run into
Gee,
that
true, true.
circumstance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So always be prepared, and by that, not skilling up your your E at level 1 instantly might help. So in case it's a very vague rule, don't worry, I can make it easier for you. Um, a timer that you can remember is 130. So this is normally when buffs spawn, and when minions are about to arrive in lane, and normally at that time gimmicks will significantly reduce in terms of percentage, like a chance to happen. So at around 130, you can start scaling up your E in case that you're worried about, oh no, what if I forget to skill up my E and then I start clicking E at some point and I don't have it. So in that case, you can default to this rule. I don't mind it as long as you don't scale it up too early. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah. Um, I'll give you the bonus as well, so you don't have to figure it out on your own. In the event that you do run into a situation where, let's say, you get five man, let's say you're in this bush in mid, and you get five man by the enemy team, and you're like, oh no, I'm probably dead. I don't want to blow my flash. Well, instead of risking your E skill shot to land, you can actually skill W, which, as we know, has no cast time, and so you just like walk up to like a group of people, press W, you get a massive shield, and you fear them, and you start running away. Half the time, this will give you enough room to walk away and create space against like crowd control or any abilities that might lock you down. Um, and most importantly, I would say this is less of an insurance, because like the fear only lasts for a couple of seconds. I believe it's like 1.5 or 1.25. I'm not sure. Um, but it's definitely not gonna get you out, instantly. It's not like you're gonna get like twisted fate altered to base, or something like that. It's not safe. However, the most important thing about this is that not only will one, the opponents not expect you to skill up W first, so it will catch them off guard psychologically. Um, they may not be prepared uh, in response to what you did,
Mhm.
because again we're talking about reflexes or anticipation, and in terms of anticipation, a lot of people actually are very lacking on this department. um I would say even as far as I've seen, even like master tier players lack anticipation actually. um a lot of the higher rated players almost certainly rely on like reflexes and mechanics that they don't plan enough. And so, especially in your rating, they are gonna get surprised. They're gonna be like, I don't even know what feared me. Why can't I cast my ability? And they're gonna get all mad, and they probably forget what you're supposed to do anyway, and you're gonna run away and you're gonna live. And
Yay.
worst case scenario, you get to burn your flash, but at least, you get to get some time to think about what you're gonna do, because you're also creating space for yourself to think, right? So you're like, okay, I feared them. Now what? Maybe I'm trying to dodge like a hook. Maybe when they start to continue chasing, I flash out just to be safe, right? Basically, you're just trying to make sure that you lower the percentage that they make a successful like cheesy play, when you're doing stuff like this, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, all good so far on the level one skill up theory.
Yep.
All right. So that's first and foremost. Doran's ring is pretty much the only starting item for Vex. Everything else is inferior. What does the recommended suggest actually?
It is
Amptom,
actually
Amptom and Tier. Okay, don't ever buy those. um,
sometimes I go cringe and I just buy a potion.
what do you mean? Like one potion?
No, the what's that called? The corruption potion.
Okay. So
That's when I
before,
feel myself.
yeah, okay, but the thing is, I don't know how to. You're a Valorant player. So let me try to give a Valorant analogy. Um,
Okay.
so in the same way that agents in Valorant like have certain buys, like for example in Pistol, like say like I'm a Phoenix, okay, I'm grabbing a flash and like maybe a ghost or something like that.
Okay.
Basically, there are some default buys, and a lot of the times, I would say even up to like a Radiant, 90% of the time they buy the same thing for as long as like they understand what they're doing with it. So I would say like from around gold to like radiant, like it's pretty much the same like purchase on like pistols or on like buy rounds, on like eco rounds. They buy about the same thing in terms of like abilities, because they've probably seen like their favorite player, tens or whatever, I don't know, um, play this agent, and then they're just copying whatever he's doing, and
Mhm.
and that's not a bad thing. In fact, if you watch all Vex mid lane players, if you saw what their starting items are, you'll probably always see Doran's ring. And
Yeah, yeah.
and the thing I'm trying to point out here is that there's a reason why this happens. Much much like how agents in Valorant always buy the same thing, it's because it's pretty much solved. Okay, like Valorant and League aren't necessarily new games where like, oh, but what if, or what if I should go amplifying tome or like corrupting No, the thing is, the what ifs are pretty much solved these days, unless like a major change in the patch happened and people will actually start to experiment again. For the most part, there's a pretty solid theory as to why people always go Doran's ring. And
Uh-huh.
while it's not a bad idea to look at a different angle, because you might say like, well, I don't want to copy things blindly. I want to see why it's good, why it's bad for myself. The thing is, that's a mentality that's only allowed only when you reach like higher ranks. I would say like diamond plus. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you're still in bronze and silver, you are not allowed to experiment. I whatever you're cooking is probably bad. I No offense, Just stick to
Yeah.
whatever works, and it will probably result in a much more positive like outcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So for now, we're prescribing you with only taking Doran's ring from now on. If I ever look at your OP.GG in a random day and I see you don't have Doran's ring,
Oh,
we're gonna have a talk, okay?
okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that in my notes.
All
Only
right,
Doran's ring.
Doran's ring. Okay, just to explain to you, by the way, the reason why this happened many patches ago, um, when starting items were a bit more diverse, corrupting potion was actually a very viable starting item for Vex because it allowed you to trade aggressively in lane, and it resulted in a much more uh very trade heavy type like mid lane meta, because like a lot of mages were run corrupting potions, and basically the first one to run out of like charges in lane will eventually suffer and have to recall early, and then will get an advantage in some facet. So that's before. The problem is corrupting potion eventually got nerfed. Sustain got higher at some point due to the durability patch and stuff like that. Many variables change, and so corrupting potion became an inferior item because it basically didn't provide anything anymore. Um, that Doran's ring and two potions like couldn't provide. Because right now Doran's ring gives you a bunch of HP to start the lane with, some AP, some mana sustain. You get two potions for health sustain. You get the passive that helps you last hit minions, whereas corrupting potion doesn't. So you know,
Yeah.
like it's almost like a perfect starting item for mages. The other mages obviously can deviate, but for Vex specifically, there's almost no reason not to go for this. So that's why it's not like it was predetermined that Ring is like magically the starting item. Over a course of patches, people have figured out that this is currently the best, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in the future, maybe I don't know how much we're gonna connect. I try to connect as much as I can to previous players I've coached, but sometimes we don't get to talk anymore, and that happens. And maybe Doran's ring has changed anymore to garbage level, and you have to adapt to whatever everyone's building, like corrupting potion or like Darkseid or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But basically, the whole concept I'm trying to tell you here is that don't try to experiment, and just at this point, just copy. Because it works for them, it probably works for you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Um, any case, let's see if there's any other talking points. Okay. Something else. All right. I know we're only in the first minute of the VOD. I apologize.
No, no, it's okay.
But there's a lot of like nuances that I want you to learn before anyone else tells you it's wrong or something like that. So the first thing I want to tell you is that again, the game starts in champ select, so meaning it can only be more intense during the game. Like, because in champ select, right? I mean, it's chill. Like you're waiting for timers to go by and people are picking their champions. You get to like freely think whatever you need to do. But when the game starts, it becomes a real time strategy game that we all love and hate. um, and that you don't necessarily have all the time to think. So I want you to have this like mantra in your head where, okay, in champ select or in loading screen, what am I supposed to do in the early levels? Okay, what am I supposed to do when when the before the wave spawn? What am I supposed to do level one, etc., etc. You want to have all these things like you want, if you really want, because you like taking notes, you could do what I did before. I had like a sticky notes, like I had like a yellow sticky notes on my other monitor, and I basically wrote down stuff that I'm first of all, like the champion I'm learning. At the time I think it was Tryndamere.
Oh my
So I
god,
had,
Tryndamere.
yeah, I was picking up Tryndamere. I know, a really old champ, but I only recently picked it up because I don't know, never got to it. And I wrote there, okay, I said like, um, I said like pregame, stuff like this are like runes, runes, summoner spells, etc., etc. And then I wrote like level one. I wrote stuff there, just any notes that you that you would like to think of, and you could always reference this like level 2, level 3, level 6, and you can be as descriptive as you want in your notes. But what I did was every time I load into the game, I look at my sticky notes on the other monitor. So if my eyes were here, I don't know why I had to visualize this. Um, but I look at it, and I'm gonna read it out loud, and then okay, and then I try to as much as I can repeat myself up until I understand what I'm saying. And so when it happens in game, I remember what I was saying earlier before the game starts, and I actually do it. So you could try and do your own method on stuff like this, but basically the whole point of this is you want to plan ahead, right? I don't know why I wrote this in capitals and this one not. But you basically want to plan ahead, because again, this will give you an advantage more often than not, and this will help you in situations reacting to certain situations. So, an example note might be, let's say you have like a separate sticky note, let's say like versus Yasuo, and you have like a angry emote just to say I hate Yasuo, something like that. um so maybe you can write here, like, uh what if like he dashes, if dash, and then you list like ideas that you have, and then you could bounce off that. You could maybe write stuff here, and then when you try it in game, you know what, maybe this isn't that good, I'll scratch that out and leave the other ones up until, like, basically you're creating like your own like guide, because you said you read guides online that are like up to date, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
doing. But the thing is, those guides can only guide you so much. The best
true.
way to guide yourself is to actually take notes of what's happening inside of your games, because it's much more personalized, okay? It's not someone else's data, it's everything that relates to you. Because for some people, they might have an easy time dealing with Yasuo, but maybe for you, you might struggle with it a bit, and that's okay. But all that matters is that you're taking the necessary steps to actually learn from the games that you play, instead of mindlessly playing games, and then all of a sudden, oh no, why am I spiraling down to like bronze or iron? What am I doing? Well, the thing you're doing is not learning, okay? So this is why this framework is important, because this is about mindfulness, about growing as a player. Because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, and I know some people in my chat or in like the comment section will probably be like, "But I didn't do this, and I reached diamond." Well, good for you, okay? But not everyone's talented, all right? Some people struggle.
True.
True, true, based. Um, and so I would say applying this to myself. I'm not necessarily a good at video games, but applying this to myself, I'm a witness of this method. I have coached a bunch of people who have used said framework. Um, my biggest success story was I've coached someone from bronze to challenger, literally challenger, using this method.
Challenger.
Yep. And it worked for him. And yeah, I mean, yeah, for some they only peak like platinum from like silver. I don't care. The thing is, it works. It works for some. It works, it works better for some others, and maybe you don't like it, but at the very least, this is a method that I think works, and it's not something that you'll randomly hear from a YouTuber. They'll tell you a bunch of random tricks. This is actually a tried and tested method. So you know, take it as you will. But this is what I recommend for learning, especially since you're just starting the game and there's a lot of things to pick up. Okay, good enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wait, I set up my second monitor for this.
Okay. So, but everything's clear so far. Any questions?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
that's actually really helpful.
All right. Oh, sorry. I didn't even mean that was just the preface. What I meant to talk
Preface.
about.
Preface.
Sorry. What I meant to talk about in relation to that is that when you're thinking about the start of the game, of course, there's a part of the game where the minions haven't spawned yet. So you might be wondering, like, what do I do? Do I just, like, I don't know, I'll tab and talk to my friends on Facebook? Do we talk about anime on with my duo on Discord? The answer is no. Okay, I don't know how much you guys are trying to win, but if you're very serious in trying to win, I don't wanna hear like, oh, have you seen the latest episode of blah 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 on the first minute? of like the game. Okay, if we're really trying, I want you and your duo or whoever you're playing with. If you're playing solo, okay, shut your mouth. Okay, shut your mind of these other things and focus because the game started, right? And part of this game is that we want to be active. So what am I saying? When in the lane before the minions spawn, the way to be active is to scout for early information. I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the red buff and see if they're there." No, don't do that. Okay? Don't be too adventurous. That's not what I mean. Um the common things you could do is I'll give you three different things. So, you could stand here if you can see the drawing I'm doing on the minimap,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically like around the Herald pit and this wall over here.
The void grubs.
Yeah, the void grubs. Yeah, like this open space here that leads to like raptors and is in the river. You can stand there, basically, just watching if there's anyone who's gonna invade your top side. You could stand here. There's already a marker for it in case you're a Valorant Andy and you want lineups. Okay, just remember this thing, right? And you want to stand here. Wow, lineup Larry. Okay, cool. In case you don't want to reference that, maybe you forget to look at the ground. Don't worry, just like Valorant lineups, you can line yourself up many ways. Like this torch. You can use this torch as a lineup and then make a line and like, oh, look at that. It conveniently intersects here. Wow, lineups. You know?
Oh my
Um,
god, it's like
it's
Valorant.
it's just like Valorant.
It
Wow,
haunts me
crazy.
everywhere I go.
Well, I didn't introduce Valorant to this topic. You did, so I'm just saying. But I'm hoping it helps you understand things and draw parallels. Cause like I can stop doing this if it's like only getting distracting.
Oh no, I
Is
mean
it
it's
okay?
no, it's good.
Okay, okay, cool. And then the other thing is here in the there's like a bush here that goes like a curve. Um you could stand there or even outside, but I would prefer in the bush because it's a bit risky. Some people might sneak up on the bush and try to kill you. So just stand like on the bush near the outskirts of it. And then basically scout if people are invading your bot side camps instead. So these are your three different options. I don't care which one you take, but if you're one of those people who like sit in their tower like here, if you're like just sitting here for like 1 minute, I'm going to report you if you're in my diamond games or like I can't have this. I can't have
Uh-huh.
this, right? Because like you're losing otherwise potential information and potential advantage right from the get go um for free. Like it doesn't take you anything to just stand here or stand here or stand here. It literally doesn't take you anything. At the very least, yeah, they might turn on you, they might like blow flashes on you. You could just flash as well, you know? But you have to anticipate that. Again, anticipation. You can't be like, "Oh no, they suddenly invaded me. What do I do? Oh no, I died. Oh, I should have flashed that." No, don't do that. Okay? Every time you stand on one of these like jungle openings to block for any potential invades, you always have to be mindful that they can rush you down and you might have to use your flash. Don't
Uh-huh.
don't flash right away because you might waste it. Because some people they get scared of one person, especially in bronze. They might be like, "Oh my gosh, why is Vex here? People in our game are just standing in our tower. Well, what is this?" You know. So they might just run away. They might get scared. But some people don't even think that far. They don't even think in general. So they might just like, you
Run
know,
it down.
run it down and just try to kill you. So at the very least, you should be a step ahead of them and get ready. Um, yeah, so that's it. So at the start of the game, stand in one of those openings and try to get some information because you'll never know. You'll never know what type of information you can get, and maybe you can utilize that to your advantage. Maybe your team can utilize that. Um, I can't tell you exactly how to utilize said information just yet. You'll have to figure that out on your own for a bit. But do note that any information in this game is very important due to the nature of having fog of war and yeah, and just there's a lot of like I wouldn't say randomness. I would say unpredictability in this game. that you would normally only be able to predict if you had full vision of the enemy team. Um, so any bit of information will, lead you to a certain like decision tree, whether it's like, okay, so let's say for example you walk up here, right? You walk up here and you spot whoever's the top laner, like I don't know, like a Garen. You spot like a Garen here, and it's like, huh, where's Yasuo? So now you're going to this decision making tree where it's like, so is Yasuo potentially top lane? That's like a male sign. I don't know why I did that. Um, is he like top lane, or like what's happening? Is Yasuo potentially hiding in a bush, and then they're trying to like maybe over here in this bush, and Garen is the bait. And then you could branch out more ideas in your head, but like because you gain information of standing here and seeing Garen over here, you know what I mean? Like you get to
Yeah.
actively like think about the game already, whereas people like, I don't know, there I mean people here, like for example like Lawi's doing nothing. I mean maybe she's setting up her tentacles, or maybe Warwick is a good example. Like why is Warwick that far back? You know? Um in fact, they're probably discussing about the latest episode of the anime
Oh
with
yeah.
his friend. Like I don't know what this guy is doing, but the thing is, Warwick is less likely to be prepared and less likely to anticipate things that would happen um, in this game compared to you, who's actively trying to fish for information, um, and like that might change the course of the early game. So that's something to keep note about. Because here, look, I mean, how long did you stand here? Let's follow your path, because for sure,
Well,
um,
sometimes I hide in the bush.
yeah, but it should never be a sometimes. Like I said, this is something that a lot of like the better players instinctively do. They don't even think about this, because it's like it's the same thing as Doran's ring. They don't have to think about should I get corrupting potion or amplifying tome. It's I'm buying Doran's ring. It's like a default, right? So the same way, no one in like higher MMRs just like stand here for
Mm-hmm.
fun. If they're actually trying to win the game, they don't just stand there. Now, some people, of course, they have their own problems. Like, I don't know, they went to stand up and get their pancit canton from a comp shop, um, stuff like that. And sure, I'll allow it. But at that point, you should have ordered pancit canton ahead of time. Just don't. Because, like, a lot of this game comes down to the little seconds, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
you can't possibly waste precious time um, doing nothing. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And I will re-emphasize this point as we go further into the VOD, that a really important concept of how to play this game is actually managing the biggest resource called the big T, time. Right? This big T right here, it's actually pretty big. Oh, I didn't expect to write it like like that. Um, but this big T, you'll you'll see me talk about this every time. In case you watch me do another coaching stream, or like watch one of my other coaching YouTube videos, I talk about this time every time. Get it? Pun intended. um so there and uh again, it's because it's a real-time game, and everything matters. There's no time to waste. And for example, here I can already tell you, right? When the wave is like this, I can already tell you. Look what you do here. You're not even looking. You're not looking at Yasuo. You're not looking at the middle of the lane. You're just sitting here. Now, of course, that's fine. You can start like this, but I need you to actively start to snap your camera. Okay, I want my camera to be right here, because camera control is a fundamental, right? Um, I don't need to be seeing a lot of the things I'm seeing on the screen. I would say I don't need to see anything like this, something like that. All of this is unnecessary information. Nothing's gonna happen here, and I'm just wasting extra camera space. So if I'm actively trying to think about the game, oh, I'm gonna move my camera over here right away, because I can't spend like 3 more seconds on this camera frame, because I'm losing information on my screen. Because your counter argument might be, well, midnight, I can see Yasuo on my minimap. My map awareness is incredible. I don't care. The thing is, the map. the minimap can only give you so much information, right? Yeah, sure, it's very vital. It's pretty important to look at your minimap, but you don't know exactly what's happening. You don't know you don't know where Yasuo is moving towards. You don't know how far is the enemy wave relative to yours. You don't know anything. You're just looking at here. So you want to confirm. You need to have like a visual confirmation of what you're seeing on the minimap, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you know that Ilawi warded this bush. You don't know which part of the bush is that. Is that the, if this like a if there's like a bush, this block here, you don't know if she warded here or in the middle. You don't know that until you check it for yourself. You click on the thing on the minimap, or you manually pan your camera over there. And that applies for everything. So, yeah, sure, look at your minimap once in a while, but in case you need to get that information or you have time to get information, I want you to move your camera over there so you know what's happening, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's the one thing. Um, so I'm sure you get to move it eventually. You're done AFKing. You actually want to win anytime
God,
now.
this is so embarrassing.
Okay, that's no, that's fine. You just started the game. I'm not flaming you for it. It's completely normal. In fact, the Iron player I coached in the past strictly played with lock camera. Um,
Oh, the locked camera.
yeah.
It makes me dizzy.
Yeah, it's a preference. But optimally speaking, you want to get used to playing on lock camera because it's it's the thing that will get you the most amount of like freedom in gathering information around the map. Um, and also, yeah, like if you're playing some stuff like Vex, who dashes half your screen in one press of a button, it might get a bit confusing. Okay, so let's talk about laning concepts. All right. So the reason why you want to start walking up to your wave at the beginning is um we want to establish lane dominance. Why do we want to establish lane dominance? The main idea there is every league game is different. Agreed?
I agree.
Like you might say like, oh, but like, every single game my jungler always feeds. Nah, I'm mad. But like the thing is, um, this even though this might be true, I don't know that. I am not watching your games. Even though this might be true, it doesn't happen the same way. Meaning every league game might be similar but very unique. And so the only way to consistently play League of Legends and climb in a consistent manner is to uh make sure that the constant variables or the stuff that are consistent in the game can be manipulated towards your favor. So that includes laning phase because, for example, in the mid to late game, all right, sometimes this tower is down, sometimes all of your towers are down. Like it's completely different. There's a whole like different like game state every time, 25 to like 35 minutes into the game, and you'll never know what to do. You'll have to figure it out. You'll just have to adapt to whatever the circumstances. But you know what's always constant? This part. This will always happen to you. Every time you walk into a lane, there's the same number of minions, the same, the same amount of XP to get to level 2, the same like number of skill points, the same gold, right? So basically, there's basically the point in the game where everything is completely even and everything is like as it is for everyone. Every game starts like this. So from minute one, you need to make the most out of it already, um, because again, this is the most consistent thing you can change. So maybe you get good at laning, you get good at playing your level one, and you'll still lose the game. But it doesn't matter because over 100 games, if you win your level one like in 90 of 100, most of the time it will convert into a much more positive like mid to late game, if not a victory, because you've allowed yourself to influence the game right away. You didn't need to wait for, oh, maybe our vein can just carry me, because like I don't know, I don't feel confident this game. That's a whole lot of crap. Okay, every time you think about stuff like that, you're already thinking about the game wrong because um especially in lower rated games, anyone can like 1v9 and just like win the game. And this starts here. So, first concept. I want you to know that your first goal in level 1 as Vex, okay, specifically as Vex, is to first try to get trades off of Yasuo or off the enemy laner, um, abusing a few things. Number one, you need to check if you have your passive up. Number two, you need to check if you have electrocute up. And then number three, you need to check if you have mana flow band up. So each of these factors are very important, and I could explain each of them to you one by one. So the passive is there so that you can fear them, and when they're feared, you can still continue to hit them, and they can't hit you back because they're CC'd. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this is important. Because a trade, right, as the word itself, a trade is an exchange, right? It's an exchange. But we can manipulate our exchange between our opponent if if we could do something about their side of the exchange. Because what if I only want to deal damage to you, but I don't necessarily want to receive any damage? That's where the fear comes in handy, right? Um, Next, the electrocute. The electrocute is an important part because it adds to your damage, right? At level 1, because you have very little AP, you have no items, you have no skill points, runes will deal more damage than anything else. I mean, yeah, of course, landing the ability will of course deal more damage, but um, in terms of like boosting your damage, this is like the best way to get like a really early lead in terms of like HP. Um, because electrocute does a lot of damage early on. Because later in the game, when you get like 5 item, 4 item Vex, you might not even need the electrocute damage. You'll just overkill people from just using your 4 abilities. So we get electrocute because we want to use it for lane power. Okay, I want you to understand that because some people when they click the runes like yeah la 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 I'm copying runes. Ooh, they don't know what it's for. Okay, more often than not, anytime you take a rune, it's mostly designed to help you in your lane. And it doesn't change here for electrocute. It doesn't change here for stuff like comet, stuff like phase rush. It just differs how you implement it. And for electrocute, it's just simple, right? Like your level 1 combo should look something like auto attack. You right click them, you E them, and then you auto attack again. Okay, are you familiar with this combo?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's your bread and butter for level 1, and then you proc electrocute. Okay. Next component is the mana flow band. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I don't know, 3 minutes or 4 minutes into the lane and you have no mana? Well, um, maybe not, right? But in the event that you do, maybe you're wondering like, how come last game I have mana? How come this game I have no mana? What's going on? Now I have to recall, but I don't want to recall. I want to get some CS because I don't have anything to buy. But I can't farm because like it's so hard to last hit with my autos, and so I need my spells, but I don't have mana, and like it's just a chain of problems. Okay, so generally speaking, you don't want to run out of mana with a lot of champions that have mana as their resource. So you want to have enough mana to get by until your first recall. So that's one concept. Is that you manage your mana um, up until first recall. Um, and we'll determine what this means later on. Temporarily, it might mean lost chapter, the item, or something else. This differs in various situations, but generally, you want to set a goal of managing your mana this way, and then eventually your goal is to get this first recall off, and then playing the lane later on. Um, of course, variables change. I'm not saying you need to strictly follow this rule, and then oh, I'm getting beat down by Yasuo, But I have to save my mana. No, come on, at least try to fight back. I like, like there are very obvious situations where you have to use your mana, but um, at the same time, this is more like a guideline of like how you want to manage your resources. Um, and again, linking that to the mana flow band, which is part of your runes. If you trade every time your mana flow band is up, you're actually refunding like 25 mana off your ability of I mean off like one ability. And eventually when you max out mana flow band, you're gonna get a whole lot of mana and you're never gonna get mana problems again. Um at least, you know, not as much. And so realistically, if you trade right now, like if you're up here, I know there's a lot of things on the screen, but like if you're up in here and you're able to get this like auto attack, auto attack on Yasuo right now, this 70 mana trade is even a 55 now because of mana flow band. You get what I mean? Like
Uh huh.
it's a huge save because it's not just 25 mana right now. The more spells you cast over the laning phase, you're saving up to like 250 mana. And then you keep casting spells, you keep factoring in regen, the base regen of Vex, the regen you get from Doran's Ring. You're actually not losing a whole lot of mana for as long as you space out your abilities. So this is really important. I know this might be a lot, but a lot of this is factored into a level 1 trade. And obviously, you're not aware of this now, but if you try to apply this in your games, at some point this will be muscle memory. All of the things I've written here will just be automatic for you.
Uh huh.
But right now, it's important to acknowledge each of these variables, each of the steps that I gave you here, because it's you need to understand why things are like happening inside of League of Legends. Because the next time you watch a streamer or like you read up a guide and they say something else, um, they it's hard. It's difficult to understand what they're talking about when you yourself you're not viewing the game to a detail oriented manner, such as this one, right?
Mhm.
So everything makes sense so far on like what the level 1 trade should look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I would have done here. I would have been walking with my wave, so I would say let's rewind this. So here, right, you see them here. I would walk continuously. I wouldn't stop and click back. Okay, I would continuously click forward, and then the wave meets here in the middle, and then we can start doing our trades. Now, of course, specifically to Yasuo, there's a different mechanic. Do you know Yasuo's passive?
The Yasagi,
No, no, no. The white bar under the health bar.
the one where he gets all windy, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is
yeah.
that a different one? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one. So specifically, when you see that this white bar is full up against Yasuo, it means that next time you hit him with like a basic attack or an ability, it will instead give him a shield, and then you'd have to chew through that shield until it expires. So for Yasuo specifically, you don't have to do the auto, E auto combo right away. What you could do is you can walk up, auto him once to proc the shield, and then when the shield expires, then you do the combo, so his health gets damaged. Right?
Mhm.
That's the trade you want to do. Because if you don't do the auto first and you don't burn the shield, you're gonna burn your burst to the shield, and then he's basically full HP, and you wasted your cooldowns, and it's a disaster. Okay. So far so good. Okay. So yeah, already like that. Okay, I know I'm explaining, so technically this VOD won't change magically, but that's an example of what I'm trying to say, okay? When you're not mindful of what you're doing and you don't know what your goal is in lane, you get to waste your abilities like that. You pressed E on the minion wave. And you might be thinking, well, midnight, this helps me, last hit the wave because their HP is lower. Now, I get to CS them comfortably, blah, 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 blah. Sure, you're
Uh
not
huh.
wrong, but you're also very wrong at the same time. Because,
Yeah.
because, um, now, we want to understand the concept of cooldowns. Okay? Because now, you wasted your passive. You can no longer fear your opponents when the next time your E is up. And most importantly, you're a mage. Most mages are gated by their cooldowns, unlike marksmen like Vayne, unlike Warwick, or I don't know, any other champion that relies on auto attacks. You need your spells. It's not an option. You need it. You will do no damage without your spells. So, what does this mean? In this scenario, when you've already eat the wave and you have no fear, and let's say, um, you know, Yasuo decides, you know what? I can see that, you've used your ability and I have mine.
Mhm.
I'm gonna harass you, and you have no way to deal damage back to me. I still have my shield. You're still on cooldown. I'm just gonna beat you up, and at some point you're gonna take like, I don't know, 200 damage, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, Yasuo is so OP. What can I do? It's unplayable. Well, it is if you just press E randomly like that, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's what I mean. But sometimes this player won't recognize that he can punish you because you're off cooldown, or you're on cooldown. So maybe you have another 10 seconds. But then comes the other problem. You still don't have your passive. So 10 seconds from now, a trade might happen, and you fight with Yasuo. But you remember the exchange thing I was drawing earlier? Yeah, you can trade damage with him, but because he's not feared, he can trade back. And depending on how you do this, he might hurt more. Because you have one spell, and he has autos, and Yasuo can auto attack you and use his spells. So there's a lot of risk to do here by just pressing one button. You've Imagine in higher ranks, if you do this mistake, you've lost the lane. I know to you it might sound daunting, to you right now to be like, oh no, I can't make another mistake like that. I'm trying to tell you that the weight of your actions mean a lot. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't try things like this again, but I want you to think about what are the consequences when you do stuff like this. Because
Uh-huh.
you might do this the next game you play after this session, right? You might be like, well, I don't know, I learned a bunch of things from midnight, and then you pressed E again. And the most important reaction I want you to get from that is like, oh no, I'm on cooldown. Or like, oh no, enemy Yasuo might be able to punish me. Like, I want you to realize that just your action led to a consequence. And this will help you train your accountability in game, which will allow you to focus on yourself and your growth, and less so on blaming your toxic teammates, your feeding junglers, and this will overall build your mindset, because stuff like like uh this like mistake is just one mistake, but if I later on tally these mistakes at some point, right? I have tallied so many mistakes, you can't even blame your teammates anymore. It's unjustifiable. I want you to reach to a point where I can't tally any of your mistakes. I
Okay.
like I should be able to, watch your VOD. Like, I don't know, maybe you're smurfing right now. You're diamond or you're master tier because I don't know, midnight coaching worked. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It might. Um and when that happens, I want to see future Arya saying like, okay, well, I did what I could there. Um, we still lost. I guess, unlucky. But like in a different game, where like obviously everyone is feeding, like Ilawi's like 1-5 or Vayne is like 1-3. Okay, the first thing I want to hear from you is not, okay, well, I lost because our other lanes lost. It's oh, there was that one point in the lane where I forgot to do this and to do that and this maybe. And these things, no matter how few or how many things you tally, for as long as you can point at yourself and look at what can I learn from that game, you will 100% become a better player. I promise you.
Okay.
Okay? So it starts here. This first E will haunt you because now every time you load up a Vex game and you have E level 1 and you have the option to press E on either Yasuo or like whatever the enemy laner or the wave, you will remember my voice because I've said it so many times. Like Arya,
I,
you pressed E on the wave. You are on cooldown. You know, like it's gonna haunt you, right?
I feel like I committed a crime.
Yeah, you committed a crime. What are you doing? I mean, don't. I mean, I'm not shouting at you. I'm very, I'm chill. Um, but yeah. So I want you to remember stuff like that. So, and look, would you look at that? Like I said, I didn't watch this VOD, and it still happened here in bronze. So imagine how much more, like, not only is the frequency going to be higher, right, in higher elo games, but the
Oh.
intensity is also going to increase. All of these will increase the higher you go. Like this Yasuo won't click back because he knows you have 9 seconds left. He's gonna click in and still beat you up until you get your E back, up until you get your passive back. Okay? But at the very least, he did the minimum, the bare minimum to punish you because you pressed E on the wave. He used his ability, and now look, trade, no trade, just like what I was explaining earlier. And you might say, well, I mean, I'm still pretty healthy. Yeah, for now, if you keep taking these trades, you might not be. Okay, so it's really important to to uh fix these like micro things in your game. So yeah, everything clear so far.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting it.
Okay. So now, um, okay, we're getting our cooldowns back. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. Okay. It didn't proc electrocute though, but I don't have to. I don't have to. Re-explain to you that I've already ranted for so long, and we're only 2 minutes into the VOD. Um. So.
No, it's okay. I understand.
So. Okay, but okay, I want to explain something different though. Something I haven't explained for the past I don't know. I don't know how long I've been rambling. But okay, another concept, okay? Another fundamental.
Mhm.
So far, we've talked about a few fundamentals already. Just to recap, we talked about map awareness and how it's important, but specifically, map awareness is not just looking at the map, it's about physically panning your camera, right? Remember that? Um, there's trading. We talked about the whole level 1 stuff, and it applies every other level. We talked about camera control, stuff like fixing this whole thing. Um, Now we're gonna talk about CSing, and I remember this is one of the struggles that you had. You said
Uh-huh.
one part is you're not dealing damage, which we'll get to later once it's important to fight now. But for now, let's talk about CSing. CSing is a very important fundamental, and in fact, I would almost bet my money that if you, I don't even care if you learn any of this crap. If you strictly focus on getting your CS up, I honestly think you're gonna get the gold. Okay? Now, why is that? Why is CSing that important? Because you might be thinking, "Wow, that's a big claim." You might be talking out of your out of your butt right now. With what's the backup? Okay, I'll back you up with some data. So every CS is worth roughly 15 to 20 gold at the beginning of the game.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and there's an equivalent amount of XP. I don't remember it, but there's an equivalent amount of XP. Let's label it as X. So X for XP. Uh, and so these resources are important just as much as time is important. These three things are the pillars of resources in League of Legends: gold, XP, and time. And so
Mhm.
every time you get to min max and optimize ways you can get gold, ways you can get experience, and ways you can like be more efficient, um, that should be your goal. So in this case, CSing rewards you with this thing. Not only does it reward that, um, it's it also technically um it also allows you to um re- like you can use this to convert into many things because at face value, like, you don't know what to do with this XP and gold, but like the deeper you look into it, gold converts into items, and when you get items, you get more damage, And when you get more damage, you get more kills. And when you get more kills, guess what? Say it with me.
Y-
Huh? When you get more kills, you get
Gold!
wow. And then it's a cycle. Oh my gosh. Oh, it turns out gold is pretty OP. Wow, if you just look at the cycle, wow, it's crazy. But it works the same way for XP. You wanna know why? Because XP, what gives you level up points? What does level up points do? It gives you, it ranks up your abilities, right? And then what do those do? It helps you heal.
Still.
And those
Ah!
skills, oh my god, it's all making sense. Oh my god, it's all. And so this is why CSing is important, because when people think of CSing, I'd be like, nah, it's so lazy. Like, why would I like midnight CSing is so boring? Cause like, it's just I'm just like playing Farmville. I'm just hitting like NPCs that are like walking in my lane. It's so boring. I want to fight with other players. But the thing is, that is what CSing does. This part here of the flowchart is what you're trying to pertain. So I don't understand why people like sleep on CSing. It's so important. I
True.
like
I love Farmville.
yes. And so this is why you can't neglect this. And additionally, CSing is one of the most constant factors for golden XP, because, like I said, in part of that flowchart, right? At some
Mhm.
point, you're gonna get kills. But the thing is, kills is a question mark, because yeah, if you get the kill, you get the golden XP, similar to a CS, right? So
Mhm.
all things considered, if I earn a lot of golden XP from getting kills, why would I ever want a CS? The thing is, this is an exclamation point and this is a question mark, meaning this is guaranteed, or maybe not necessarily guaranteed, but you can guarantee it. All right, that's a difference. Because like for example, if this Yasuo right now goes 10-0 and you're 0-5, I don't care how much gold you have. You're never killing that Yasuo at all. So you're never gonna get this golden XP. So we can't rely on this as our way to get these resources. But these waves who will arrive every 30 seconds, it's a streaming, like, it's like a river of golden XP that you could just like happily claim. All you have to do is like stand here and be like la 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 la. Oh, I can last hit. Poop. La 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 la. Oh, last hit again. Like you don't even have to. Yeah, you just have to mind your own business. At that point, don't even think about Yasuo yet. Just make sure that when there's minions in your wave or in your lane, get them first, because it's consistent, right? So later on, when you're given the option, let's say here, let's say I don't know, Yasuo is like chunked like this. This is his HP bar. And you have a wave like this. Now, let's say Vex is OP, and maybe you can actually kill Yasuo here. But we don't know what Yasuo can do. Let's just say, I don't know, maybe he can dodge your E or something like that. Maybe he has a way to outplay you. And then all of a sudden you can't get the kill, you burn flash, you burn ignite. It sucks. Right? It sucks. You didn't get the kill. Well, what if I can tell you you can skip this option entirely and just go for the CS. Now, of course, it's case to case basis, right? Of course, don't be one of those people who's like, there's like a whole team fight that's happening, and you're like, but guys, there's CS, okay? like, like don't treat it as like a Bible, like, oh, I have to, but midnight says CS over kills. Like, it's a priority. See as a priority, but when there's a free kill, when killing is of utmost value, you swap your priorities for the meantime. And then when you, let's say, after successfully killing Yasuo here, now you go back to CSing, right? So that's what I mean. You
Mhm.
get it so far? How CSing is important?
Yes.
Okay, so how does that connect to what you did here? So when your E came up again, your goal right now, when you have your wave here, is to last hit all of these. Okay. So when I see you do this, what is this, Arya? Okay, what is this? This is your CS that you're missing. Okay? Are you gonna kill Yasuo with this 1E? I don't think so. I don't think so. But if you auto this creep, hell, even if you eat this creep, I would that would gives you, golden XP. Wow, it's so free. But no, you missed it. And guess what? You keep on trading, and then at some point, oh no, minions are aggroing my turret. You missed another one. You're wasting resources. Okay? If right now, we meet up in real life and I walk up to you and I say, okay, if every 30 seconds I give you 120 bucks, okay? For
Okay,
us,
120 bucks.
yeah, every 30 seconds. You just have to sit there and patiently wait for me to give you every, 20 peso bills every now and then. But in every 30 seconds, you'll earn 120. Are you really gonna be like, but actually, midnight, I'm gonna order a drink from the other side. I'm not sure if they're open. But I want to get there because I don't know. I feel like, I feel like buying a drink. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe they give me a reward and then I get a coupon and I actually don't get to spend. And then, like, that's basically what you're doing here. Pressing E is like trying to get to the other side of the street, and you don't even know if they have coffee. You don't even know whether they have a coupon for the coffee to be worth it. What if this coffee will make you broke? And in this case, broke might mean, I don't know, wasting your resources, wasting your flash and your ignite, trying to kill this guy, right? Whereas I am the minion. Okay, that sounds weird. But like, I
Okay.
let me cook with this analogy, okay? I already
Okay,
started it.
okay, okay.
You gotta see through it, okay? So I'm the minion wave, all right? This is me. This is midnight. Like, I am there to give you your money. You don't even have to do anything. You're just there, putting out your hand. I'm like, okay, midnight. Time has passed by. Can you give me the 20 bucks now? I'm like, okay, sure. And you last hit this minion, you got your 20 bucks. It's that easy. Like, you don't have to complicate it. And some people might tell you differently. Because, like, you might, have a different duo. Or maybe you'll play with different teammates. And they're gonna be like, why aren't you being aggressive? You're so passive in lane. What does that even mean? Like, I mean, sure, right? Maybe you can do that, but you can't afford to miss freebies like this. Like, maybe what you can do is that instead of, walking across the street and checking if they have a coupon for you at the coffee shop, why not ask me, okay, midnight, can you accompany me to, the other side of the street? And then maybe while we're there, you can continue giving me money. Sure, I'm down for that. I'm a good friend. I'm a W friend. I'll go with you, and then I'll give you your money. Like, you could do that. And what I mean by that in league terms is that you can continue CSing, right? Um,
Mhm.
Trying to get every last hit, but at the same time, getting every trade you can. It's possible. It's not like, getting one is you miss the other. Except if you're trying to go for kills. Um, then of course, the other part is that, well, if you're trying to prioritize CSing, well, the next part is how do you actually CS? It's pretty easy. I
Yeah,
could
I suck at that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, but it takes a while to train and it takes a while to learn. But if you're really willing to, again, I'm going at this premise because you came to me and you said you want to get better than your brother. You wanna, you don't wanna suck. You
True.
I don't know. Like, you came to me because you wanna, learn the right way, and I'm telling you, if you're want to speed up your process, okay, I want you to do this, okay? I'm gonna give you a prescription. Um, get into practice tool, okay? Sit there for maybe an hour, before you start your rank games. So let's say these are your rank games. Okay, sit there for an hour. Um, and what you do in this 1 hour is you do two things. 30 minutes, okay? It's like a training program. It's like going to the gym. 30
It's like a
minutes.
Valorant rage game labs.
There you go. See, I'm not. I didn't even put the. See, you tell me you were complaining earlier about the Valorant stuff, and
So
now
so rage.
Now
just
you're bringing it
it's
up.
coming to me. It's coming
See?
to me.
Okay, but yeah, that is a good analogy. So in the same way you do range or aim labs or Kovacs, you can do it here. So 30 minutes, I want you to last hit all the minions in the first 10 minutes um without using spells. That might be hard for you, and that's fine. And I want you to get at least 80%. Okay? At least 80%. That I mean, that might not be an accurate like goal. That might be a bit too high. But I want this to be your goal. Like it doesn't matter whether you reach this. Let's say for example, you start at like 30%, right, on your first try. At the very least, I want to see you make progress 40%, like 50%. I don't care if you reach 80%, but I want you to try. That's
Okay.
the goal. And then the other 30 minutes of this, okay? And again, this is 10 minutes of CSing, so this is basically 10 minutes times 3. You have to like reset the game and then CS 10 minutes again. Um, then here, you last hit um, with spells. With spells, same thing, 10 minutes, blah, blah, same thing, but with spells. So do this for about a month. I guarantee you, this concept alone will probably get you either high silver or like low gold. Like CSing is so overpowered. And in fact, I used this to my advantage when I was climbing myself. Fun fact, I didn't start to be, like a diamond talented superstar. It's not that high actually, but like I didn't start diamond. That's the only thing you have to know. I wasn't one of those giga chat gamers that's like very talented at picking up new games. I started bronze 5. And if you don't know, before there was no iron. This was the minimum possible rank. I was terrible. Up until, guess what? I focused on my CS. Wow. And then, I don't know, in one season, I went from bronze to gold. Literally. So, when I'm telling you that this, like, CSing routine or focusing on CS will get you to gold, I'm not making that up. It happens. And I'm not the only witness. You can ask other people. You can ask other people I coach from bronze to gold. It happens. Okay? This is one of
Mhm.
the most important steps you need to take. And I would say you can even scratch off the rest of your notes for now. If you haven't done this for a month, you are not allowed to proceed to learning trading, learning like camera control. I will forbid you from doing that. Please focus on the CSing thing because this will make or break your laning phase. Because if you don't get enough golden XP, well, it sucks because then we get into unrealistic situations where you don't even have an item to get kills. You don't, like it converts into a very bad mid game. And then now the problem becomes, oh no, I have low gold, right? Low gold, I have no items, I have low damage, and we're here. We are basically here. This is your problem. You said you are not dealing damage. I can already see why. 2 minutes into the VOD, I can already see why there's a problem. Because this, for me, this is not like an accident. It's not like, midnight, it was just a bad game. No, it's not. Without even looking at your OP.GG, I can probably reasonably predict you average at about like 3 to 4 CS per minute. And that's really bad. Your economy is your economy is like stunted. And that's why you're having this problem of having low damage. You really can't.
Mhm.
I don't blame you. It's not that you don't know how to deal damage. I mean, we would have to see. um, but this is a big problem. Do you get what I mean with this? I really mean
I get
this.
it.
Okay. So very important. Okay. So now we discussed that. Let's see. So now you're level 2. Actually, let me see what happens when you go level 2 right here. And I want to see what changed when you get to level 2 and then adapt from there. Okay, you have your fear up. I'm expecting here an EQ. Yep. Okay. Wait. I mean, you did the right steps. Kinda. I can see the intention, and that's good for me.
It's on a vision.
Yeah, that's good for me. Honestly, you just need to refine that. Okay, so what I want you to do next time you do a trade like this, level 2, is that I want you to be patient, okay? Watch this. When you press E at level 2, like this, don't cast your Q right away, okay? Right now, what you're doing is you're rushing. In Valorant, this is almost like, okay, you flashed an enemy. You flashed an enemy. Right now, they have this like, that light thing on their head to indicate that they're flashed,
Yeah.
right? That's what you did with your E. Now your Q is basically your Vandal. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is getting weird even for me.
No, cause like
I,
I get it, cause like
oh,
they're pre-aimed
yeah,
on you, and then
oh,
you go out, and then they just pre-fire you.
exactly. So much like how people when they flash an enemy, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, he's flashed! I gotta kill him because blah 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 blah." Like you don't have to rush it, right? They can't see anything, right? In the same way, here, if you shoot your Q right now, you shoot your Vandal. Well, they can still kind of outplay you because this is as if they're not flashed yet. Like if let's say if this bar completes, they get flashed. And I mean sorry, not that bar, but like this one. Let's say like there's like a random like a indicator here or like a bar or something like that that tells you, okay, if this thing completes, if the circle completes, the enemy is flashed. Okay, well, now you're telling me you're trying to peek out and shoot at the enemy before the flash even goes through? What are you doing? You're dead in Valorant. Same thing here. If you don't wait for your E to even fear them, which is over here. Look at how late the fear comes in. Here. This is how late it is. If you shot now, you're dead. And only now is the flash gonna come through. But the thing is, if this is like Valorant, right? You're dead, you're one tapped, and now he's flash, but there's no one to kill the flash guy. Right? Similarly, okay, obviously here you're not dead. I'm not it's a bit of an exaggeration in League. But it's also equally as important because here, you landed your fear, but now you don't even have the follow-up, right? So you're missing out on damage. So what I would suggest is just be patient, right? Press E, wait until this thing appears. This is your indicator, fleeing. That's it. You just have to stare at the enemy Yasuo model, right? So when you're loading into the game, I want you to focus your eyes on three things. Um the enemy minions, your minions, specifically the HP, and the enemy champion. Okay? I don't want you to be like, but midnight, what if I forget where my champion is? Okay, listen. At that point, okay, you just have to play more games because you're just not getting used to it. In the same way that you don't know, like for example, in Valorant, where you look at your radar and like let's say you want to go from like A site to C site, and like you're trying to walk there, and then like you're looking too much at the minimap, and then you go like, huh, wait, there's a wall in front of me. Wait, how am I supposed to get to C? Like it's the same way. Like it's the same way. Like in Valorant, most often than not, when you're rotating towards C after you've played 100 games of like Haven, you're not looking at your screen anymore, or you're not looking at the map anymore. You're not looking at one of the things because it's automatic to you. You've mapped out the things in your head. Similarly, you can map out elements in League in your head by saying, okay, if I'm focusing on this, at some point I'll get used to generally my characters around here. The tower is always there. These walls are always there. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there are constants in the game that don't change, except it's important to look at these things because it's drastically gonna change your lane. And in this case, it changes your trading pattern. So here, you want to press E, wait for the fleeing, okay? Really easy indicator. You don't even have to do anything else. As soon as that appears, you have to prepare your finger to click on Q and then land your Q here. And it's guaranteed to land. It's guaranteed to land. You don't even have to, but what if it misses? Nope, you won't. The only time you miss that is if you're bad at using your mouse, and at that point, it's a skill issue. But in theory, you always hit as soon as the fleeing thing is there, and then you Q, it will always hit. There are some exceptions. Have you heard of the stat called tenacity?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously tenacity will reduce the crowd control duration. At that point, yes. Sometimes your E won't guarantee into a queue. But we're talking about laning phase, we're talking about level 2, and so that principle doesn't apply yet. So pretty much what I'm telling you right now, you can apply in every game. Just E, wait for fleeing, Q. That's it. And then the last thing you want to do is you do what you do right here is that you try to right click them and then you proc your electrocute. The reason why it doesn't work here is because you haven't planned for it. You see? You see how planning is important? Because here, um, it's important to realize not only will you have to hit your E and Q, but your auto has to be available. So watch what you do here. So let's rewind back so you can see the exact frame that you did the sequence. You EQ, and then what you do is um um you you autoed you autoed right away before even confirming that your Q landed. Um which if your Q did land, it's good. But you have to be aware of like when not to do it as well, right? Because this comes with the backup plans in terms of like anticipation. So you have to like make a flow chart. So let's say for example I miss my E, okay, and like I miss my Q. This way, your backup plan should be either number one to continue autoing Yasuo so I can proc my electrocute, or to cancel doing the trade and wait until my skills come back up. So this first one is pretty obvious because it's the most aggressive option. Naturally, you're able to understand that. Okay, I missed. I keep going. I do damage pretty easy. This one is an option that most people don't even think about because um let's say for example like here you missed, you can actually not go through with this auto and um instead back out. What this does is that you keep the aggro of the minions to your minions. Because right now, if you can see the detail, this minion is now aggroed to you. You see these like three little dots?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when you auto them, you actually get their aggro, and this does two things. Number one, it it makes the lane push faster towards the enemy team, because your minions are hitting them and their minions are not hitting yours. Secondarily, you're taking damage unnecessarily because each of these minions do damage, and the more minions you aggro, the more damage you're taking. A good rule of thumb, you can put this in your notes. 4 CS, or sorry, not 4 CS, 4 minions, right? If you aggro 4 minions, let's say there's 4 casters here, and then you aggro all of them, and if they all hit you, this equate to 1 spell worth of damage. That hurts. That's basically like getting hit by 1 E from Vex. So this is why it's important for you to learn when to cancel trading, specifically autos, um, because you don't want to get into this habit of like overly trading and like getting unnecessary minion damage, because the only way that you're gonna get damage in lane consistently is with enemy trading. But um you know, by accident you might get you might get damage from minions, so you have to be aware of this as well. um and don't worry for mages, you only have to worry about aggroing them and auto attacks. So what you could do instead is position better because they have an aggro range. You can envision like a circle like this, something like that, for an aggro range. So instead, if you want to do this trade, you can maybe move up here, and then you do like the E into two autos, auto, and then you proc the electrocute, and then you won't aggro these two minions, right? You can still do the trade for as long as it's important not to aggro them, right? Get
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
I get it.
Okay. So that's one way to refine your trade. Let's go to level 3 just so we can speed up the VOD review a little bit. Okay, so you skill up W. Alright. Also, one other thing I want you to think about is I want you to be more aware of where you're clicking. Each
Mm-hmm.
click has to correspond to what you're thinking about. So, um, how do I say this? Right now, you're clicking randomly. I can almost guarantee you're not even thinking about where you're clicking. It's just like a habit that, okay, I gotta be moving around the lane and, like whatever. Um, but now I need you to start practicing clicking with intentions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to know, like if I'm clicking here, why? If I'm clicking here, why? And then you get to assess to yourself, okay, maybe it's bad to click here. Why not? And where should I be clicking? So, for example, let's make hypothetical arguments right now to train your like thought process. Um, let's say I clicked here. What are the problems of clicking here? Well, first of all, if I make a trade right now, if I'm standing here, I'm gonna aggro this minion. I'm gonna aggro this minion, and maybe this minion. And also, I'm in Rage of Yasuo. Seems risky. Maybe I shouldn't click there. Um, but also, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. Let's say instead of that as my goal, let's set a goal. Okay, if I want to avoid the trade and do something else, let's say focus on last hitting the cannon. Maybe there's a better way I can last hit the cannon without clicking here. So maybe I click here. The difference is I'm outside of the range of Yasuo, these three minions, but I'm still in range to last hit the cannon. Do you see what I mean now by like
Mm-hmm.
the different intentions of clicking?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it comes with it goes hand in hand with your positioning in lane. So I get it, this might be advanced to you. I'm just telling you that this concept exists so that in the future, again, after you've done all the CS drills I've told you, you probably have to deal with this at some point. So positioning is important. um, okay, so far so good. Nothing too crazy. Again, focus on CSing. Let's wait until some interaction happens. There's a lot of CS. Oh, do you already know the last hitting patterns on their tower?
Uh, for Vex, no. Like,
In
it's
general, in general,
in general.
there's a golden rule for you to always get minions on their tower. You know that?
No, I actually don't.
Okay, so let me tell you now. Um, let me see if there's a freeze frame I can tell you. Maybe here. Okay, so how does it work? We're gonna apply math now. There's a simple formula. Um, so let's look at melees and let's look at caster minions, represented by M and C. Um, these are the only thing that have consistent formulas. Cause for cannons, represented by CA, they have an approximate, like formula, but it's not reliable. And I don't want to teach you this because it's very confusing. But for melee and casters, you can easily figure this out. So, if assume always that this formula only works on full HP minions, but you can transpose them as soon as you see the patterns. For example, melee from full HP like this one um, will die to 2 turret shots, 2 TS, plus 1 auto. That is, so basically you can do like you wait until the tower hits them twice and then you auto, or yeah, I mean I guess that's the only way to do it. um So two third shots first, and then you auto. Yeah, it's not a plus sign. It's more yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. So and then for casters, it's one turret shot, um, one auto. Wait, sorry. I might be missing this up. Um, yeah. It's no, it's one auto. Sorry, it's one auto, one turret shot, and then one auto. So from full HP, basically this means that at around 90% HP, you can start doing this part of the formula where it's only one turret shot, one auto, right? And that's why I'm telling you it's like a transposition, right? So at some point you might want to deviate this formula. Let's say the melee is at I don't know 55% HP. I'm not making up this number. This is a real applicable number. Then at this point it changes to like one turret shot into one auto attack. So it changes based on the HP. But
Mm-hmm.
it's good to know this part. You can forget about the deviations right now. It's good to know this part right here, where for melees you wait for two third shots to hit, and then you auto them, and then for casters you auto it first, setting it to 90% HP. The turret hits again, and then you last hit them. This will always happen for as long as you're under turret and they're not getting damaged elsewhere. So they're not aggroed by minions, etc. Okay?
Uh-huh.
That's a secret to last hitting them. So right here, that's why you missed that. Watch carefully. One turret shot. Following our formula, we need to wait one more turret shot and then last hit it. But look what you do. You hit, and then the third shot happens, and it kills the minion. Exactly kills the minion. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you just need to reverse the order. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So this we'll see this probably in the future when you get shoved in again. Like here maybe. Nope. Too low HP. Okay, there's a gang coming. Okay, finally some action. Alright. Hmm. Okay. Get a flash. That's pretty good. That's a good outcome. But if I'm your coach and I'm watching your game live, I would say, I would express my disappointment and I would say something like, you
Going
know,
for the kill.
you know, that should have been a kill. And I'm not saying that right here, right now is a kill. I'm not saying that. In fact, this is already a win, and probably you can win lane from this point on, if you know what you're doing. But that's not what I mean.
Probably
I
not.
I mean that we had no influence to this like kill setup whatsoever. Why am I saying that? Because when I watch you lane the first four levels, look, Yasuo is just full HP and nothing's happening. Okay, you're not making this easier for Warwick. If I'm Warwick, I don't even know if we can kill mid. I might try it, right? I might, I might visit a bit, see what happens. But I don't see a vision where we kill this Yasuo. Because it
I
doesn't
don't
look
see
like
it.
it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You're not making it look like it. And so we basically, relied on luck that, oh, Yasuo decides to overextend. And luckily, Warwick's here. So maybe we get to burn his flash. I don't want that. I don't want to, for it to come to luck. I want you to control your games. And so, how do we optimize this scenario where instead of getting a flash, you kill Yasuo? That's when the trading comes in. So we talked about level 2 trading. You keep on doing that. You keep on doing that, level 3, level 4. But you might be wondering, okay, Midnight, I'm confused. You mentioned trading 20 times. I don't know how to trade. I'll be I'll make it simpler for you.
Mm-hmm.
Trading um is just using your minions to your advantage so you can trade to the enemy. So how do you do this? I want you to force the enemy laner to make an option. Because the thing is, when you're doing a trade, technically, um they can they can choose to not fight you, they can choose to go for the last hit, they can choose to, like they have a lot of options when you just go for these like random harasses you can see here. Um, but there's a way to force that even further, and it's a way to guarantee trades without you even realizing it. And it's super abusable in Broken and Bronze. I suggest you start doing this, probably even now. Like you can start doing this um, while you're working on the CSing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I would like you to see it is that, okay, remember what I said about where you're supposed to look at? Your minions HP, the enemy minions HP, and the enemy champion. It's important here because now if you're actively looking for a trade, then you want to look at the first minion that's going to die. You look at the enemy champion if he's going to last it already. If he looks like he's gonna hit it, you trade with him. What does this do? Number one, Yasuo has a few options. Number one, he either expects you to do that and backs off and keeps his HP. So back off and you keep HP. Downside is he didn't get the CS, which is a good thing. This is good for us. I mean, sure, he gets to stay in lane longer, but basically, we've denied him golden XP, which is again the most important resources. Okay, so what if he continues with it? He gets the last hit. Um, so he goes for the last hit. Well, he's minus HP plus the CS. You might be thinking, um, well, this looks bad because he's getting the resources, but not really, because this HP is a pseudo resource. Because this HP over an accumulated number of trades, like maybe right now if you hit him with an E, assuming no passive, you let him to like this HP, and you trade again next wave and this HP, and then it goes further. And at some point, this Warwick who randomly decides to go mid sees a half HP Yasuo, you kill him. All of a sudden, you get golden XP. You deny the because he's dead, he can't CS this wave, effectively denying golden XP. And now, oh my gosh, wait, just by doing this technique, I've essentially improved my chances of, increasing the gap between my gold and my XP, between his gold and his XP, right? That's how you get leads. And so here, look at the frame at which I'll do it, right? So right now I'm looking at Yasuo, and then as soon as this HP goes low, not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm waiting. Right here. But except I am not in range. So this is a positioning thing. I need to be actively thinking about this minion, right? I should be standing here so that when he goes for this, look, he's locked in animation. He's locked in animation, he can't do anything. So when he goes for this, I E him and he can't do anything. He takes the damage. Yeah, he gets the CS, but we're chill. So we do this every time. Okay, so I'm on cooldown, right? I'm on cooldown, I'm on cooldown, I'm on cooldown. Okay, 3 seconds. I'm gonna combo him next time. Watch this, watch this. Okay, he's walking up, I'm staring at him. He wants to go for this. Right, right here. You see the intention from Yasuo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna last hit this. You know that. And you can abuse this because humans are geared to do this. Psychologically, it tells us that humans are um, wired to seek rewards. And Yasuo sees this as like, ooh hoo hoo, gold, ooh hoo hoo, yummy minion. Like he might not actively think about it, but like his brain processes it as like a reward. So you know, like he might not be able to control himself and still go for this. And because you can abuse that, because you can abuse that he's human and he's not an AI, you can always go for this trade. I'm going to E, Q, auto, and then I get a good trade. Like that. Except, yeah.
I hit my cue.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. And you have to do that every single time. Because it's like a negotiation, right? Laning is like telling a story. Right? So it's like if we're to add like a you know dialogue boxes like a visual novel. You're basically saying to Yasuo, "Hey Yasuo, you want that minion?" And he's like, "Yup, I want that. Hehe, can I have it?" And then you're like, "No, I don't want you." And then you press EQ. You know, there's like a story to it. Like you guys are talking in lane without talking,
Mhm.
because that's what your champion wants to do. So here, if I'm standing up here, look, I'm looking at Yasuo again. He wants to take this. Bam, trade. You see? So you keep on looking for those angles, and then eventually this Yasuo is half HP, and then we fast forward. Let's say the exact same sequence happens. Hypothetically, right? Let's say the exact same sequence happens, where Warwick, tries to go bot, you know, kills bot, goes scuttle, kills scuttle crab, and then it goes mid, and then this time instead of this HP is that HP because you've been trading for the past 2 minutes. Wow, Warwick's gonna love that. He's not even gonna hesitate. You know, I want to kill this Yasuo. And of course, that's even if things play out the same way. What if this Yasuo has been half HP for the whole minute? Maybe Warwick doesn't go bot first. Maybe he goes mid first because he sees like, my Vex is very aggressive. I want to help her get this kill on Yasuo. Okay? You can think about that. Um, and for Yasuo, on the other hand, Yasuo can think, okay, I'm taking a lot of damage. I might want to play back and play safe because I'm scared of Vex right now. You see how easy it is to manipulate human beings playing League of Legends? Okay, that sounds bad. Okay, well, hold on. That's not what I mean. That's not what I
Okay.
mean. What I'm saying is you have control over your games. It's not your teammates. Okay? Because you trading for the past 1 or 2 minutes, brain controls Warwick in a way. Mind controls Yasuo to play back. That's all you, right? So that's why I look at this and I be like, okay, you could have done better. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be harsh on you on that. You just started playing the game. You'll get better at it. It's nice to start on something like that, and eventually you'll set up a lane for your jungler to feast, and then you get kills. You're happy, thumbs up, and then we're all good. But it didn't happen. So let's do okay. So there's a fight here. Yasuo goes for a fight here. You should win this. 100% win this. EW ignite, fail to ignite. That's okay. But yeah, you missed the kill here, and this is more anticipation, right? Um, Another anticipation method we could use against Yasuo is, okay, Yasuo has this like visual effect. If he has like a third Q up, so meaning he might try to go in with that. So in the event that Yasuo goes in, I want to have a response prepared for that. And so something like this, right? Um, my response should be, okay. I'll tell you the correct response. The correct response on an aggressive Yasuo like this, especially when he clicks forward like that, he's clicking forward. Um, is that okay? Right now, I'm thinking of um. By the way, I haven't played Vex, so take this with a grain of salt. But if I were you and if I were to play Vex, right now I'm thinking I am waiting for my fear cooldown. Okay, I want I want Yasuo to come to me because if I have all my cooldowns and my fear, I have my ignite, I kill him. That's what I'm thinking about. So as soon as he comes here, I'm not even gonna throw my Q because I have 3 seconds left. Right? Be patient. And then 3, 2, 1, now. Now, only now where I have my passive. I know I don't have it right now, but I'm counting from earlier. Um, I press my combo W E Q or W whatever, and then press ignite, and then I kill him. And just right there, I would have killed Yasuo better than you did.
Mhm.
But I I don't have the experience. You do. You've played so much Vex games. Um, all that you need to do is make a plan out of it. I just did the planning because for me, my advantage is I've been planning for like the past 5 years. So for me, making plans like that with my champion is automatic, right? So
Mhm.
you have one thing and I have the other. If we combine, we're like, I don't know, some Power Rangers big. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know what I mean, right? You know how important is the anticipation thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
So we could have potentially gotten a kill or two by now. Okay. So now you recall, and let's talk about first recall here. What do you get? You have an item set. Okay.
I have so many items set. I have Korean, I have Korean, I have Discord, I have Chef, and I have Support.
Okay. Okay. Before I judge this, please explain to me what's going on here and what am I looking at with these item sets. Can you elaborate?
Okay, support is for my support Vex builds. But
Okay.
some of them are occasional, like Ludens Tempest is for poke. If I'm going against a poke support, and then there's a Bruiser Vex support, and then for Korea, that's when I want to. If I wanna like have the most out of my ult, if I feel like I'm landing my ult shots, because it has malignant.
Okay.
The Discord one is if I go tiers first because it's usually for squishies.
Mm-hmm.
And chef, I never had good results from that because some Discord guy said I've been cooking with Vex, and I was like, okay. And then he was like, he like described this menu of a Vex thing, and I'm like, damn, that's so smart. I'm gonna put that in my in my item list. And Corinth was my very first like Vex like thing because it's like it was like so cringy for a while. Like I would just once I R, it's over. Like it's Jover. Like once
Yeah,
I hit my R,
it's
it's
Jover.
Jover.
Okay. All
But
right.
then I did no skill damage. My skills did no damage. It was just my R. Like my R pops half the HP, and that was it.
Okay. All right. Let me. Okay. So first off, I'm gonna preface this by number one. I don't care what your friends or whatever people on Discord or whatever Korean you're looking up to. I don't care what they're gonna say about this when I say this to you. I'm saying that for the most part, these builds are wrong. I don't even need to play Vex to know that. Okay, I have a total of like 3 games on Vex, and I can already tell this is not the way to go. Some of these are correct, and I will explain that in a moment. But I can tell why from the items itself, you're not dealing damage.
Okay.
We already addressed that. Number one, um, you're you can't CS well, so you're not getting enough items to CS. But more importantly, your item choices are horrid. and and
I gotta
League of
pull up my league item set, start deleting.
and League is a game where itemization, and I have been preaching this for the past 4 years, is arguably the most important thing that determines whether your champion becomes OP or not. Okay? And so
Uh-huh.
I want you to scratch that and I want you to hear what I think. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is how you build Vex. So you go into 3 different builds. Um, the way I see it is your default. This is number one. You go into Ludens, um, into either Shadow Flame or Shadow Flame or Storm Surge. I don't care which one. It's both good damage.
Mhm.
I would maybe debate that Shadow Flame might be more OP nowadays. Um,
True.
but up to you. Honestly, whatever. There might be cases where uh you need an item right away and Storm Surge is cheaper, so you might want to get that. I don't know. Use your own um like guts to tell you which one is correct. And after that, it's situational. Situational. Okay, this is the first. This is your. I call this a default. Okay, similar to how there's like a default in Valorant. There's like different ways to like hit a site or hit, or I don't know, your different attack strategies, basically. Um, okay, your number 2 build is when you start getting early kills. I'm talking In the first 10 minutes, so your condition here is that in your first 10 minutes, if you get like 3 or 4 kills, you go this route, okay? So this build starts with Storm Surge. Storm Surge.
Mm-hmm.
You might, I don't know. Again, the lack of playing Vex will have a question mark here. I will put a question mark on potentially you might need to buy tier before completing Storm Surge. I don't know that. See for yourself. Try first building Storm Surge without the tier and see if you have any mana problems. If you
Mm-hmm.
do, you might want to start building tier like on before completing the item. Not first item because Torrent String, right? And then you go into Shadow Flame. Go into Shadow Flame, and then Situational. Um, this is the highest. You can go into Practice Tool to confirm this. Confirm this, but in theory, in my head, this is the highest 2 damage item combo for Vex all in. So I think you can really like end games quicker if you have this build and you're really fed. So try this out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the last option, this one's a bit more. You need to know a bit more matchups here. I would say if you can't kill them, and you, I need to emphasize can't. Okay, not that I'm not saying that. Um, let's say I don't know. You're having a hard time killing them because you're missing your skill shots. That's not can't. You're just bad. You can
Yeah,
kill
it's
them.
just a skill issue.
Yeah, you're just bad, but you can kill them in theory if you hit your stuff. So if you can't kill them, let's say for example it's like a Galio, or like something incredibly high range. If it's not tanky, something so high range like I don't know, like an Azir or like a Vel'Koz, something that you can't interact with realistically, and you're having a hard time getting kills through lane, um or anything, maybe anything that heals as well, like a Vladimir, right? Basically, if there's no like easy kill angle, you go this build. You go Malignance, you go
Hey, that's
Malig
my favorite.
yeah, you go Malignance, um into Shadow Flame and Storm Surge. And the way you play these builds are different for each. So the default build, you play this um as flexible as you can. This has the most flexible options because here you can choose to either play through lane, you try to kill the enemy laner, or you could shove, you could push mid, and roam and help your other lanes. So this is more flexible. This route number two is mainly for killing your enemy laner over and over again until he quits the game. Um, and number three is
Okay.
when you just clear the wave, and then you just camp top or bot. You basically never go back mid. You just camp top or bot every time your ult is up, and then you just kill them. So you can see the differences, right? Yeah. I think that should be it. Okay. This is your core items. I now
Okay. I created the item sets as you were explaining.
There you go. Now, as for everything else, like I said, they're situational after these main items. Situational items, I can agree with some other things like Crypt Bloom, I think is really OP on Vex. Death Cap is every time you can afford Death Cap on Vex and you're able to complete it in a game, I think it's free win. This item is so giga OP on Vex because of her AP ratios. This item is busted. So every time you're rich and you can afford that, sure. The only problem is that this thing is so expensive, you might not be able to buy that and you have to resort to something else like Crypto. Okay, so again, it depends on your game, but you have to look into it. Never buy Lich Bane. This item is troll. Um, Anything else that tells you, oh, this will help me live more, like Zonias or Frozen Heart or Riftmaker, whatever this is, don't buy them. These are all terrible. Okay? The Vex theory of itemization, okay, I'm gonna tell you now.
Next theory.
The Vex
Woo!
theory is one shot. That's it. That's
Okay.
all you need to know. Every time a new item comes out, you just ask, can I one shot with Vex? If this doesn't help me with my one shot theory, it's a bad item on Vex. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Now, of course, okay, don't take this for as like a Bible rule na like I said, some people run phase rush on Vex. And that's different from electrocute Vex because you're not playing burst, you're playing kite. When you're playing kite Vex, other builds open up. Like, Leandry's Riftmaker type builds. Because here you're playing like a mage, you're weaving spells, and you're doing a lot of rotations. That makes sense on that build. But not only is this hard to, first of all, you have to identify when do you even run phase rush. That's step one. When do you run phase rush? Step two is, okay, I'm running phase rush, but how do I know whether I'm playing for burst or if I'm playing for kite? And number three, are these items even good in this game? So it's very conditional. That's why I didn't teach you this build. That's why I'm teaching you the Vex theory of just one shot because it's very easy to remember and it works. This will work in your solo queue games 90% of the time.
Okay.
10% of the time, you run into like these tanky comps where like they have like four tanks and one ADC.
Yeah, and you just GG.
Yeah, you're just screwed.
MF15.
I mean, then at that point, it's up to you. You have to adapt to that. But because of this like whole one shot idea, you're able to win games more. Now, okay, another itemization concept when you're ahead. Okay, I'm throwing everything out of you. Okay, I want to make your money's worth out of the session. All right.
Okay.
When you're ahead and when you're behind, it drastically changes how you build. Okay, in
Mhm.
Vex, um, now this is a general rule: ahead and behind. In Vex, you get to rule break a little bit. For example, you don't care when you're behind. The only time you care about deviating from your build is when you're ahead. When you're ahead, you're no longer playing to one shot. Um, and I say ahead as in like I'm ahead one full item ahead. Like I'm so ahead. I'm like at least like 3k gold against the enemy laner. Like I'm insanely ahead. That's a definition of ahead in case, you know, someone asks, what is ahead? The adjective. That's what I mean. One full item, 3k gold lead. When you're ahead, Vex can change your items. Now, stuff like Zonias matter. Frozen Heart is still illegal, should never touch this item ever. But stuff like Zonias, stuff like Banshees, what else? Um, Trying to think. Uh, that's probably it, honestly. Yeah, if you're ahead, you can consider buying these items. Anytime you don't satisfy this condition, don't never buy these items. And some people might tell you elsewhere, and it's cringe. You're gonna be like, but the thing is, Midnight, you're not understanding it because when you buy Zonias, it's a core item on Vex because, well, when you go in, they're gonna focus you, and then you're gonna stall time with your Zonias active, and then you can kill them and you won't die. And to that, I say, that's true, but also false. Because if you're playing Vex properly, you don't have to do that. What you're doing with when you're Vex, when you're not buying Zonias, is that now you have like three items because you skip Zonias. You say you have like Ludens, um, Shadow Flame, Death Cap. Okay, this deals more damage compared to Zonia's third item, right? And so what you're doing is once you press R1, R2, W, EQ, all right, that guy is dead. They can't even react. And so the next time you cast your ult, you're gonna R2 again, and then you're gonna kill someone. You're gonna half HP someone with your ult because you have so much AP. You have like 500 AP at this point. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't have to worry about them bursting you when they're dead. Like, it's such a beta mindset to think about, oh no, I'm gonna die. No, you're not. You're not. You're gonna kill them. That's the mindset
No,
I want people to have when you play
yeah.
Vex. Exactly. Okay. Do you get it? Do you get the itemization concepts right
I
now?
get it. I get it.
Okay.
Can't can't kill me if they're already dead.
Yep. So next time you go in a situation where, oh no, they focused me there. It's because you didn't kill them well. That's your lesson there. It's not because you didn't have Zonyas, it's because you failed to kill them properly. That's it. Vex is simple in that regard, but it can take a while to understand how to kill well with Vex, which let's see if we can address here. Okay. So pretty much again, because you're pretty a passive laner, there's not a whole lot to say. I say that, but I there's not a whole lot to say. But like in the first 5 minutes, I spent an hour talking already. So it's fine. Okay, pretty much the same
I
patterns will
hate
happen.
Yasuo wind walls.
Yeah, so when wall could be annoying, which again you can anticipate and plan ahead. You can deal with that actually. Um, Yasuo was actually a favorable matchup for Vex. I've played this matchup myself, and I've killed Yasuo I think 3 times in lane. And I don't even know how to play Vex, so that's more of an insult to him. So yeah. Um, oh, as far as good matchups goes, I'll just make a simple matchup chart for you, because you might see a guide online about like, oh, this is like a good matchup for Vex. This is winning. This is a bad matchup. Try to dodge these matchups or ban them. Okay, that's a very cringe way to do it. Okay, I'll make it simple for you. Okay, the good matchups: melee, melee, or go in. These are the only words you have to remember for what makes a good matchup. And in good matchups, you try to play for, very aggressive kills like the one I'm telling you. Like every minion you try to trade against Yasuo, etc. Bad matchups include ranged, specifically high ranged, like ranged plus plus. Like literally, you can't even auto them anymore. And you're dying from all the skill shots they're throwing at you. That's what I mean. Like Azir, Vel'Koz, Serath, yeah. Um, range and uh, poke or like playback type champion. Okay, and the way you play these matchups is you just wait until 6, you land ult on them, and you kill them. But pretty much before that, it's a bad matchup because you can't harass them and it's hard to get a kill. But the good
Mhm.
matchups, yeah, you can just keep fighting them. Honestly, you can just brawl them until they die. So yeah, that's it. I basically taught you all the matchups with Vex in just one diagram. That's it. All you need to know. um, of course, some high elo like chatter is gonna type in my chatter and my YouTube like, actually, there's this matchup that you play it like this, play it like that. Okay, at that point when you're high elo, of course there's nuances and you have to acknowledge the nuances. I'm just saying this because it's the easiest one to digest and it's the easiest one to apply in your next game right away. Like, yeah, if you have all the time in the world, learn all the matchups, like all the nuances. But I don't have time to sit down with you and tell you that, right? So
No.
I just gave you a rundown that I hope you understand, and it's pretty easy. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about recall timers and wave management. Again, high level concept, I would say, but this might matter at some point in your league journey. So, how do I explain? Let's see. Because here your recall. Okay, so recalling means you're not in the map for at the very least 30 seconds. Oops, sorry. At the very least 30 seconds. This is minimum. This is minimum. Plus potential 8 seconds from your recall. That's a lot of time. And I mentioned time is really important in League, right? So
Mhm.
you burning 38 seconds not being on the map, you have to make sure that what you're doing with this 38 seconds is important. If you can't justify that to me, you shouldn't be recalling. That's how you justify
Okay.
that. So, okay, when you recall right now, you see this wave. There's another wave coming right now, um, around here on the map. You don't see it. It's in Fog of War, right about here actually. Um, and when you recall, when you get back to the lane, number one is that these minions are gonna start killing themselves, and you're gonna miss minions. Meaning you're missing gold and XP.
Mhm.
So again, um, if we're missing this free gold and XP, similar to the, I'm giving you, 120 per 30 seconds analogy I did earlier, it's it's pretty bad because, like, why would you give up on something free? Like, a lot of people would want to have a life where they're gonna get stuff for free, and this is free, the wave. So that's one downside to this recall. But there's another thing. Um, so you see that Yasuo moved into Fog of War, meaning Yasuo would now inevitably be just hiding in Fog of War in mid, or responding to the stop play, or recalling. So that's three different routes, right?
Mhm.
Now, if he's responding to the top play, that means he has a chance to get a kill, and you have no way to get there because you recall, meaning there's a chance that he gets uncontested gold and XP, so you miss out on this, like, number two scenario. If he matches your recall, you're chilling. You basically lose the same amount as Yasuo, and this is like the only good outcome for you. Number one is, what if he double backs, like he goes out of vision and comes back and tries to CS your whole wave here. Look at this. Tries to CS your whole wave here. If he clears this as fast as he can, now this coming wave over here, you'll lose the entirety of it to this tower, and now you missed 6 minions worth of XP and gold because you decided to press B. That's how bad that is. And I'm telling you, that's one recall. You're gonna do this a lot of times in lane, and you're gonna miss so much golden XP for free. So that's why recall timings are important. So let me give you a basic rule of when to recall. Again, I don't want you to stress. Okay, I'm gonna give you the cheat codes. Okay, so when do you recall? You see these cannon minions right here? These cannon waves?
Yeah.
When they spawn way back here, way back here, as they spawn, actually here, as they spawn here in the Nexus, you should be starting your recall, if not earlier. Why? Because when the cannons meet in the middle of the wave, they take longer to kill because the cannon has high HP,
Mhm.
right? So it takes a while for them to chew through the wave. So when you get back, you actually don't lose anything. At most, you lose like a cannon. At most, maybe a cannon plus a melee, cannon melee. But that's still a lot. You're still left with like 5 to 6 minions. You're still chilling. If you really want to get your recall, I mean, sure. Compared to if you recall on, a wave like this, you're missing like what, 3 CS and potentially like 6 CS if, like, Yasuo shoves the wave. So a much bigger risk on a wave like this. Um, is what you need to know. You get that?
Mhm.
Okay. So instead, what you should have done, look, uh, over here before you recall. Okay. So you need to count. Okay. Do you know when cannon minions spawn?
No.
Okay. Okay. This is gonna test your memory skills, and this is why League is a difficult game, because again, every second counts. You need to pay attention to every detail because everything can work towards your favor, even minion waves. So in the first 15 minutes of the game, cannon minions spawn every 3 waves. So this means Wave A is a normal wave, wave B is a normal wave, and wave C is the cannon wave. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
At 25 minutes, um, the cannon wave is every two waves, right? So now it's AB. And then at, oh wait, no. Sorry. It's actually 0 to 15 is this. This is 15 to 25. Sorry. 15 to 25. Whoops. Yeah. My bad. I don't already know someone's gonna correct me. For imagine coach not knowing, blah blah blah. Okay, I corrected it, okay? And then 25 plus minutes, it's every wave. So every wave A is a cannon wave. So now that you know that, you can basically time your waves every time there's a cannon wave about to spawn. So you can clear the wave before that and then recall as soon as you clear it. For example, here, I'll give you a demonstration. So this right now, we can say this is wave A. Or do you like it letters or numbers? Like wave number one?
Letters.
Okay, letters. Okay, variables. All right. So this is wave A. And it's because it's first 15 minutes in the game, it's every three waves, correct? Following the rule I said earlier.
Yes.
Okay, it's wave A. Okay, we're clearing wave A. Let's say our goal is to recall. Okay, so we're clearing wave A. Wave A is done. This is wave B right here. And wave B is right here on fog. What you want to do is to clear this entire wave B and then recall right away. So what that does is that right now, if you do that, um, this wave gets to crash under tower, and then the cannon wave will come back to you, right? And then now, because you recalled early, you're gonna get back in time to the point where the cannon minions are fighting, and so you won't lose anything. So that's how you do it. You
Mm-hmm.
you you have to clear wave B, recall, and then in 15 to 25 minutes, you clear wave A, recall, because you don't want to risk recalling on a wave where you lose a bunch of CS. You get that?
I get it.
Okay. Again, I'm sorry for overwhelming. This will all make sense once you see the VOD and you go through your notes. It's okay. It's a process. We're gonna get through this. Um.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna start wrapping it up soon because I can already tell the game is gonna go stagnant because you're not making an impact. Um. Not making enough of an impact. Let me see your first ult usage. Is that your first ult actually? I don't see you ult ever. Yeah. So that's your first ult. Okay, your first ult usage comes in bot here. Uh, off the recall, right? Yeah. Oh, actually, look at that. Wait a minute. Again, I did not watch this VOD. For anyone who's hating on me on the comments or on Twitch chat, I did not watch this VOD. But it just so happened. Remember when I told you the punishment for this is that what if option one, Yasuo double backs and clears his whole wave and then you lose 6 CS? Well, let me see what happens. Actually, let me see what happens. Hold on. Let's watch Yasuo on the map. I mean, sure, he's not on it just yet. Yeah, he's taking his time. He's having a play date with Warwick. But what does Yasuo do? Oh, that's weird. Oh no. He goes back for the wave, and you're not there. So if he just did this faster, you're gonna lose this wave. So right now you're not getting punished. He hesitated, right? Um, so like you're getting away with it. But again, we can't rely on luck. This is a luck
Uh-huh.
factor. Like Yasuo not knowing or hesitating or whatever it is you need to factor in, whatever Yasuo is supposed to be. Um, like You're lucky that he didn't do that because it's very easy for Yasuo players to get attracted with just last hitting and yeah, just clearing waves because they want to get their items. Surprisingly, this guy didn't. And so now your play of going bot is rewarded because you're now you're not gonna miss a whole lot of minions now if you make this play fast. But you get what I mean? Like this roaming play, even if you get a positive result here, like a kill, you can't be proud of this decision because you basically agreed to the fact that okay, this decision only works if Yasuo doesn't push my lane. That's bad. That's not consistent. You can't replicate that in the next game. Because what if next game you go up against a Yasuo and then he actually pushes the wave instead of going to the top fight? Now what? Right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. This is never a consistent plan. So here, yeah, you might get a kill. Did you actually?
No.
No. You didn't even get it. That's how bad the play is. And look, as you can see, there's no cannon wave. You missed a whole wave and the cannon wave. That's 6 CS times 2 plus cannon. Okay? And that equates to about, I would say, roughly 300 gold. That's a boots. That's already boots. That's like, I don't know, that's one of these new items. That's one component. You're telling me you walked towards bot, you recalled, you walked towards bot, killed nothing, to miss one component? Oh my god, we can't play like this, no? So yeah, that's how you need to think about like your recall timers. You get it? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about my decisions.
No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm only like criticizing it because I want you to remember and important how impactful it is. Because I swear, um, like if you abuse these things, because the same way you're making these mistakes, the enemy will make these mistakes too, and you'll see it like, huh, wait, they're dumb. What are they doing? And then you punish them actually, and then boom, right? And then you're gonna get out of bronze, you're gonna get out of silver, you're gonna get to your gold, you know, silver. I don't know, silver land. I don't know what it calls it, what they call it in heaven. But yeah, like um Silver City, I think. But yeah, like you're gonna climb up in ranks so fast because you know how to avoid making the mistakes, but also because you're aware of those mistakes happening to you, you're able to punish people when you see them making the mistakes you're avoiding, right? So that's it. Let me see if there's anything else. Try to wrap this up. Let me just watch the rest of the game. Let's see if there's anything else. Because already, I can tell it's a stomp, and none of this is your doing. You've barely influenced this game. You just got lucky. You got good teammates. Yeah,
Have you ever seen a 007?
this is actually really bad. Um, because Vex is super reliant on snowballing and getting a lot of kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should never do. Honestly, okay. How do I fix this? I need to get this out of your shell. Cause I don't know what's going through your head. I don't know why you're so passive as Vex. Cause you've played multiple games of Vex. You know what my reaction was in the first game of my when I first played Vex? Um, when did I first play it? Like last year. I
Uh-huh.
I was sitting there. I'm like, okay, um, I actually don't do damage, and so immediately I think the only way for me to deal damage this game is if I can put them behind or I can put myself ahead. So I feel like this champ wants to get kills. Like that was my intuition. And I started playing more aggressive. I died a couple of times and I'm like, okay, it's whatever. But in the times that I actually killed them a lot, it felt good. It felt good. I don't know if it's right, but the core thing I learned from that on the first like 3 games of me playing Vex is that you want to get to the point where you're playing a champion and you feel good about playing a champion. Right now, I am I'm feeling like secondhand like cringe from watching your gameplay because I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing damage. I'm not getting kills. Like I feel so uncomfortable playing this game. Like I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I'm feeling. So, okay, I want you to switch from this mindset, whatever you have, because right now I feel like you're playing too safe. Do you feel that?
I feel I play too safe as well.
Okay, I want you to strip away all the safetiness that you learned from Vex. I don't care if you lose LP for it. I don't care if you lose your friendship with your duo with it. I tell him, Coach Midnight told you to do this, and you need to adapt this mindset. Okay, and this is
Okay.
it might be brutal, but I want you to grow, and you're not growing like this. I swear, it's so harmful to play like this because you don't know what you did wrong this game because you didn't play this game, right? It's hard to
Yeah.
learn from nothing. It's like, oh, how can I improve my drawing? You didn't do a single stroke on the canvas. That's what you're doing here. So, okay, I want next time I want you to be absolutely like those like absolute demonic players in Valorant who peek everything without help. Like they just like rush into site and try to fight everyone.
Yes.
Do that, but in League. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Like, for example, in the laning phase, right? Let's say pre six, like here.
Just insta mute everyone in the beginning.
Oh yeah, sure, do that. I mean, I'm actually an advocate of mute all. I've been playing the game for 3 years. No, actually more than that. Uh, 6 years. I've been playing the game for 6 years without seeing a single chat from my team. And let me tell you, the experience is so bliss. This game turns from the most toxic game to a really fun game without the chat, actually. Now, that's just my take. You could not follow it, but I'm just saying, if you're tired of dealing with toxic people, just turn off
Yeah.
chat. Just,
I'll
you
get
know,
I'll get good first, and then I'll turn on chat.
okay, but I want to understand why you're thinking that way. Why do you have to get good before turning off chat? What's the difference?
No turning on chat, because
Oh,
sometimes because nobody really talks bad. Because like it's okay. This is so mean, but sometimes I like to watch the scuttles people have in chat. Like
uh-huh.
they like fight each other, and you're just over here thinking like, guys, why are we going for each other's throats?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then if they're going after my throat, it's kind of like I can't say anything because I'm doing bad, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's why it's not helpful, because, like, most of the time, peop- people aren't helpful on chat anyway.
Yeah, that's
And
so true.
and even when they try to be helpful, you can mess up your coordination. There's so many things that can go wrong. So why bother? Play your own game. Look at what I'm telling you, what I'm teaching you. Trading,
Okay.
level 1, level 2, trying to make an impact, controlling your jungler, making Yasuo play safe, trying to recon proper time so you don't lose. Like, I'm giving you all the individual agency to get good and get consistent at the game because you're the only consistent factor every time you play the game. I mean, sure, you
Yeah,
can have your duo, but is your duo always online? Or I don't know, maybe at some point your duo stops playing. What then? You stop playing League? No.
sure.
Like, the only consistent thing is you. You don't rely on anyone, not your duo, okay? If it I would even say, and no offense, I know you're probably good friends, no offense, but if it goes that way, I would say if it starts to get harmful, just deafen on Discord. Screw your duo. Focus on your own game. Because the thing is, that's the only thing that's the only thing that matters. None of
Mm-hmm.
this matters. This Warwick doesn't matter. This Vayne doesn't matter. Seraphine, Ilawi, none of that. Only you matter.
Okay.
So yeah. So I want you to learn. from the get-go, right? Let's say when you're full mana and stuff, like here, um, or maybe here, like here when you're on cooldown, don't even click back. Just use your spells. I don't even care if you think it's good. Fight him. Just keep fighting this guy. Oh, your cooldowns come back. Fight him. Don't even think about it. Like
Okay.
of course, think about the CS stuff that I taught you, but don't
Sure.
think about what Yasuo will do to you. Just keep fighting, because you don't know. And um, of course you'll realize that, oh, at some point I'm 1 HP and Yasuo is like full HP. Of course, don't fight, right? Don't feed. I'm not telling you to feed. I'm telling you to try. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing enough trying. Look, we have our spells up for like 20 seconds. What are we doing with this? Yeah, like that. But it needs to be more of that. And then when you get ult, I don't want to see this. Look, you get ult here. Watch this. Okay? Get ult here. Okay, sure, we shove the lane. Okay, now what? What are we doing? Are we looking to dive this Yasuo? What are we doing? Maybe we do something bot? We're not doing anything. I want you to make an impact now. Your cooldown is up now with your ult. Do something. I don't care if it's a bad timing at that point. I don't care if you're gonna miss a wave. Because I would rather get you into a mindset of you trying to 1v9 and carry your duo instead of, oh no, I might miss a wave. Yeah, I taught you to not miss CS, but also I can't afford to see you play like this. I feel bad. You just flash out of a Jax. I honestly at that point I would take it. All right, stun me, and then we'll see. And then if the fight goes bad, then I go out and try to flash. But you didn't. Your first reaction is to flash. Why? Why are we doing that? When you first tried to walk, as a baby, right? Like you had to fall down. Like you can't stay walking forever. It's the same thing. But I'm not seeing it. I can already tell um from the amount of idle time that you have here on your screen, and stuff like that, and from the intent of your actions and stuff like that. And obviously you might not know how to try it. I'm not blaming you, I'm just stating a fact. um I'm telling you, you need to try harder than this,
Okay.
because it's not. I don't see it. And so next time I see you, um, I don't know. Maybe you send a game. I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna keep touch. That's up to you. But next time you send me a game, I want to see you like actually like fist fighting people perma. Like every like 12 seconds, you're just fighting someone. Every time your ult is up, you're just ulting right away. You don't even care if it hits or not. Like I want that, because look, we haven't ulted. When's the time you learned your ult? Let me count how long. Um, it's over here at 6:32. Your first ult, you're gonna be ashamed of this because they're gonna point out the numbers now. You're gonna look terrible. Look, look at what you've done. Your first ult. Hold on. Is a full like 5 minutes after learning ult. What is your cooldown on this ult? 2 minutes? You could have casted like 3 ults, but you casted one. We're not even playing Vex anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to be angry. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to make you realize that we could be doing a lot more, and we're not. Um, and so that's one thing you need to work on. Okay, just keep trying. I like that. I like I tried to ult. Okay, so be it. It missed. But the next time you have your ult up, like here, ult. Okay, especially like this. Have a timer in your head. If you haven't ulted in like a minute, find a way to ult. Okay, that's your drill. That's your
Okay.
drill to be active with your ult. Because I can't, dude. 5 minutes before the next ult is crazy. It's crazy, actually. You're AFK. I could almost report you for AFK, leaving the game. Oh, Oh my god. Okay. So do that. And then I don't know. Let's see your mid game. Your mid game is like this. Okay, let's see. Um here. Okay. So will we do something here? Um we're not doing anything. We're just not doing anything. We're barely even farming. That's the problem. I would be amazed if we're just farming and not fighting. That's honestly pretty amazing. But we're not farming nor fighting. So what are we doing? We're AFK. And again, it comes down to the luck factor, right? That we can't rely on our teammates to just carry us to the finish line, to drag us to the victory. Oh, we need to do something. Okay, let's see if we do something here. Okay, Ash is there. Send it. Ult right now. Ult. Oh my god, you hesitated. You slimy. Your hesitation, I don't care if you ulted anyway. I don't care if you got the kill anyway. Your hesitation is problematic. You have to be bloodthirsty when you play Vex. Like, as soon as you see someone in range in your ult, you just snap your ult. Don't even think twice. Don't care if there's someone behind them. Kill them. Kill them and then run. Like, what? Look at how long it took you. Ash is here. You're in range. You're in range. 4, 5, 6, 6 seconds. A whole 6 seconds of you debating whether you're ulting or not. What? That's a lot of time to think. But yeah, that's how it is. So let me see if there's anything more we can extrapolate. Because right now I can't even squeeze anything from the VOD because all of your problems are in the laning phase. You need to see us more. You need to start trading actively. Um yeah, that's it. Honestly, my advice to you from this session, right? I know you learned a lot, but
Yeah.
your immediate uh training plan right now, do the CS drills, very important. Please don't skip on it. If you're
Yeah.
actually serious of improving, you're gonna do it. And
Yeah.
yeah. Um and then in game, so 'di ba you're gonna do 1 hour training in the ranked games. You can do maybe 1 or 2 hours of ranked. Try not to in my opinion, try not to play too many games every day. Maybe like 1 or 2 hours is good. And then in those, okay, wait, let me write this on screen so you get a visual. So do the 1 hour warm up. This is 30 minutes CSing um with last hits and 30 minutes CSing with spells and last hits, of course. And then 1 to 2 hours of ranked, depending on however your mental can do. 1 to 2 hours of ranked, and here I want you to purposely try to look at every minion. Uh, every minion must equate to a trade. That's your practice. I don't care. Remember what I talked about with the electrocute stuff, the fear stuff, the mana flow stuff? Don't even bother. Just practice the mindset of actively trading because you need to. And then every time your ult is up, try to look for an ult angle. If it's 1 minute past and you're still having ult, force the ult to happen. Whether it's a dive, whether it's like, I don't know, a team fight, force the ult to happen. So 1 minute timer. Okay, that's what you do. And then,
Mhm.
so this is like what, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. If you have more time in the day, spend your time sitting with a friend, with a similar elo. So similar elo, I would say iron. Honestly, even higher elo, I would say iron to plat. Uh, iron to like low emerald, regardless of who that person is. Iron to low emerald, sit with that person and VOD review the games that you played here and just discuss so you can learn and take notes. Take notes of things I told you about. Trading. Fundamentals like trading, CSing, your camera control, um, how you review your camera control. Don't review using the league replay. Always record your VODs like this. Because you get to see
Mhm.
your camera control. You get to see what you've missed out on map awareness as well. Um, so map awareness. You can look at your warding, your items. That's what you do in your VOD review. All this. Okay?
Okay.
It's a bit messy, but I hope you're taking notes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My whole left screen is just full of sticky notes.
I'm so sorry, but there's a lot to unpack, and I immediately saw a lot of problems in your gameplay that we can address. And I believe my timeline is you're probably gonna get to silver in a month and gold in 2 weeks after that. Assuming you strictly follow this, and you spend about, yeah, like what, 3 4 hours of your day of your training. You don't even have to do much. You can have so much free time. But yeah, I don't recommend playing more than this or doing more than this, like VOD reviewing more games. No, 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 no. Take your rest. I can't emphasize this enough because I'm a victim of this as well, and a lot of my players are victim of this. Rest is important. Okay, sleep. Right. Rest is equal to the following: sleep, exercise, whether it's like walking around the house or I don't know, or doing a few stretches. I don't care what exercise you do. Um, Diet. I'm not saying like like eat healthy food. Um, like all these things, you might laugh at it now. Um, Studies show that there is a positive effect for solo queue players who have a good element of these three.
Mhm.
So again, this, if you want to min max your improvement, you have to follow all of this. Okay, you have to do the drills, do the rank games, um, do the VOD reviews diligently with someone. Don't sit on it by yourself because you won't learn. I would know because back then when I was bronze, I had no one to help me and I'm not learning anything. So I can tell you with confidence, you're not gonna learn anything when you VOD review on your own. So sit with a buddy, and then of course, in between these training and gaming sessions, optimize your sleep, get some exercise, get some diet, and yeah, this way you're maximizing your learning cerebrally. Cerebrally meaning your brain, um, because you're getting knowledge from VOD reviews and like discussing with friends. So your brain is getting bigger, big brain.
Uh,
Um,
100 IQ.
100 IQ. Uh, your mental is gonna get better because you're a lot healthy because you're healthy, right? And so all of these factors factor into your gameplay because of course you need a good mental to stay positive and try to win the game. You need a good mental to anticipate and think of the proper things in game. A good knowledge background to to even know what to think about and stuff like that. Like the mental and emotional will go hand in hand, and these would help. Um, yeah, that's a whole recap and a summary of your prescription. I don't know why I call it prescription.
My
Um,
prescription.
yeah, I'm not saying you have a disease. I'm not saying you're ill. Okay, just to make that clear for everyone who's gonna hate on me.
All
I
good, all good.
Dude, it's so risky to say anything in the internet because like, what do you mean kill everyone? What do you mean prescription? Are you
In
saying
game.
like
It
like the cancel culture is real. So yeah,
true, true, true.
okay. Do you have any questions before we end the session?
No, actually, I've taken my fair share of notes. I even have a picture.
You have a picture.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
nice.
I placed it there of like the places where I'm supposed to be in a minute,
Hmm.
and my
Nice.
lineup.
The
It's there.
lineups. Okay, the lineups. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you don't have any questions, I guess what I want to say is, I'm always open to the people I've coached. I I never cut bridges or burn bridges. So in any case you want to ask me, let's say there's like a new item came out or some Vex balance changes and you want to ask for my opinion, um, feel free to catch my DMs. I'll reply to you
Alright.
as soon as possible. As long as it doesn't take time to reply, like I don't have to write a novel, I'll probably get to you.
Yeah.
Or if you want to share moments, like, you reach silver again, you reach gold, plat, diamond. Honestly, I can't tell. Your aptitude tells me you can reach up to plat. That's what I can say. Hmm.
I'll
I'm
try
not.
my best
I'm
for
not
you,
memeing. I'm not
coach.
memeing. I'm not memeing. I actually think it's very possible for you to, because you're saying you started playing on December and this is how you play. It's not even that bad, honestly. It's not that bad. So I think if you're, if we're trying to draw like a bell curve, I would say you're about right here and you're gonna skyrocket. And I think plat is your current peak, and it will depend on how you react to that to, to see you can get further. If you even want to get further, because as far as I know, you just want to beat your brother. So
Yeah, but if I get to plat, maybe I'd want to go for challenger.
right, right. I mean, you're already there.
Yeah, I'm already there. Might as well.
Nice. I would honestly, I would be so proud of you, reach challenger. You have no idea. Or and honestly, any rank. I'm not saying that. Oh, if you don't reach challenger, I'm not proud. I'm not Asian like that.
The typical Asian parent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I, my points of improvement. What I want to see next time we talk again, or next time I don't know we interact, is that I want to see your mindset of, um, like you taking accountability and looking at your
Mhm.
own mistakes. Um, you trying to make an impact in your games. You actually trying. I want to see that reflected in your games. And of course, you even, like, if there's any way you can show me effort um to do the things I'm telling you, like, um I don't know, like a spreadsheet that like tracks your CS drills, or a spreadsheet that contains all of your VODs for all the rank games. Anything that like makes me feel like, okay, you're really putting this to the limits. If I can see at least one of these, I feel like I've done my job as a coach. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I'll do my best.
Yeah. But yeah, this is fun. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
thank
Hope
you.
I hope you learned a lot.
Yeah, I actually did. Like I noticed a lot more of my mistakes once you pointed them out.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, all right. So one more thing. I'll be giving you access to the reviews channel on the Discord, and then you could
Mm-hmm.
leave your feedback, your honest feedback. You know,
All
uh,
right.
the session. All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, see ya. Bye bye.
See you.